I just Google imaged white, and I threw it up.
And your picture showed up, oddly enough.
Nice.
Got him.
Got him. All right. Fucking ready?
Start it. We'll keep that in the intro. Let's go.
Welcome to the Loner Spoiler Cast. I forget the third part of it. Where we spoil and just discuss. It's mostly a discussion show about Hawkeye. Hawkeye just came out like 2 days ago. Came out on Wednesday.
Actually.
Well, today. Technically yesterday. You could watch it yesterday. That's how you watched it. But I watched it today.
Yeah, it came
Technically out on Wednesday.
On midnight,
So,
you know.
I literally just got off of watching it. And I'm like, let's fucking do the show. 2 episodes are up. And yeah, we're going to fucking talk about Hawkeye. What did you think of the first 2 episodes? We'll start there.
I really like it.
Really?
I really, really like it.
Okay.
I dig the vibe of it. It just feels like well, first of all, it's like more lighthearted than I would say the previous shows have been, except for maybe Loki. But even Loki was pretty serious at moments. And I have a feeling this one's going to take a dark twist, probably in the middle of it. I just have that feeling, you know?
Right.
But it's kind of nice, you know, just to have our fun MCU back. You know, it's been pretty serious with like Eternals and all that shit. But it also just feels like this love letter to like 80s action movies. Like this movie feels like Die Hard, not just because it's Christmas, although that's part of it.
That's a big part of it, especially the first episode.
Yeah, this is very much like a Christmas romp. But yeah, it feels like Die Hard because it's like Clint is like, I'm getting too old for this shit, you know? And then like it's also like Lethal Weapon, and it feels like it's building to that, where it's like this buddy cop thing between the two of them, 2 unlikely partners partnered up, you know? And dude, Rogers the musical is probably the best thing to happen to the MCU
it's fucking
ever.
horrible.
I can't. Loved it.
I can't believe how bad that fucking musical was. And who was that guy? But who was that guy with the shirt and the little like the M or the N? And he's like, yeah, all of those people were there except for that guy. And then he starts singing, and it's just like a random dude that's got like a little symbol on his shirt.
I'll need to rewatch that because it's.
I have no idea who that was, and like he's at the end, like the end of the scene, he like slides in front and sings the final note in front of everybody. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Who is he supposed to be?
I don't know. What do you think of it? You seems like you didn't like it, huh?
I liked it. I will say I liked it. There are glaring issues that I very much get from this.
I'd love to hear that. Yeah.
I absolutely loved all the way up until probably she meets the stepdad.
Okay. I kind of like that because to me it adds like this level of, I don't know if you saw that movie. What's that movie with James Bond and the guy who
007.
Oh, no, the guy who directed the Star Wars movie, Rian Johnson, he made it. Knives Out. It's got this it's got this like Knives Out whodunit vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of into it.
The reason I say that is because it's been 10 fucking years since her dad passed, and her mom like gets into a relationship 10 years after. She doesn't hang out with her mom. She doesn't like, really talk to her mom. It doesn't seem like. And then she comes home for the holidays and she's like dating this guy or engaged to this guy. And it's like, yeah, it's been 10 fucking years. Just why? Like, why? Why are you so upset about this guy in particular? And if we had like a little bit of backstory, like he like was mean to her as a kid or, something like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I could understand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of the way they portray it, and in the first episode, it's like, oh, you're trying to mess with my mom. You're trying to get with my mom, but that's my dad's territory. but he's been dead for 10 years. And it's just like, that's kind of shitty. Like, that's really shitty of you to like do that to your mom, you know?
That's yeah, I get that, but also like I do think people are like that, you know? Like your dad died. It's not like their parents got divorced, although it seemed like they were getting divorced anyway, but you know, it's not like they got divorced. Like her dad died, you know? So it's probably like a hard thing, but also I got the impression that like this is not the first time she's met this guy. And she already didn't like this guy.
She doesn't like him. And that comes off a little bit.
You know, and she, as the episode progresses, it's like, it's kind of unfolding that the dude is hiding something. It looks like he probably killed his uncle. Although, I'm getting this sneaking suspicion it wasn't him, and he's actually going to turn out to be a good guy. I have this feeling. I have this feeling.
I get the same thing, and I think it's her mom who killed the guy. Or like she hired somebody to kill that guy.
Yeah. That's another thing I like about this show though, is that it's like you know, it's not so grand. You know, it's not this like grand scale thing. It's very like, this is the story. It might get larger, who fucking knows? But like we haven't seen a single like superheroed person, you know, and like, or like superpowered person, and I like that. I also really like I think what's her name, Haley Steinfeld, I think that's her name, the girl who plays Kate Bishop. I think she's really great. I really like her. I really like how they did the character, like they did the flashback to 2012, and like she saw Hawkeye, and that's why she got into bow and arrows. Like that's really cool.
Okay, that's another thing that you bring up that I'm like, oh god, there were two moments in the first like 15 minutes of the film of the first episode where I literally said exactly what the character said when they said it. It was like, well, what are you gonna do in a hurricane? And I looked at Danielle and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna protect you. And it's like, oh god, they really fucking said that. Like obviously,
that's like a human thing that someone would say.
But then they're at her dad's funeral, and her mom goes, "I'll do anything for you," and she goes, "I want a bow and arrow." Yeah. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I thought it was cheesy, but I feel like they're
fucking cheesy.
I felt like it was cheesy, but I felt like they're kind of going for the cheese a little. Like I feel like this show is going for the cheese a little. Like there's a little cheese in this show, and I kind of like the cheese.
I see it. There's a little bit of cheese, but it's
not enough cheese to like, you know, get a, you know, it's not sprayed all over my face like Cheese Whiz, you know, but like it's a subtle amount of cheese, and I kind of like the little amount of cheese that we're getting.
I feel like it's just too little. Like it's like
you want
when
more
somebody
cheese.
Like where it's like you're like, yeah, I'll take some salt, or you put some salt on your food, and you're like, man, this could use some more salt, but not like too much salt, just like a little pinch, you know, just give me another little pinch of salt and we're good. Because I think it kind of loses its tone identity a little bit, where it's like this guy's watching out for this kid, and then he's at a LARP thing for some reason.
I love that.
It was fine.
I loved
he obviously lost. He lost a bunch when they're all surrounding him and hitting him with the swords, and then he does the swipe. Like he literally was getting hit in the chest. It's like, okay, but
I love that. I mean, I hope the show ends with him just going back there and he's like, I had fun. Like I just want to do this. That'd be hilarious.
Like there's that, and then there's the tracksuit guys, and that's super cheese. Like that's the biggest cheese. You get these Russian guys who are just dumb.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, we got the guys, boss. Oh, boss, we got the." Like, and it's just like, oh, it's just straight up henchmen.
I'll be honest, dude. This is kind of what I wanted from Falcon Winter Soldier. Like, I wanted this more like fun romp, and Falcon Winter Soldier like just felt very self-serious like the entire time, and this just seems really fun. I also like the fact that it seems a little like self-aware almost. That like, you know, Hawkeye is kind of the D-list of the Avengers,
right?
And like it's kind of self-aware when like Kate's like, it's like a marketing thing. It's definitely a marketing thing, you know. And he's like, I don't want to be famous, and I like seeing Clint like deal with the fame, you know. It's cool because like in so many comic book movies were always like, how do they not know? How do they not know? And then in this one, it's like they do know, and it's about him dealing with the fact that everyone does know he's Hawkeye.
Right.
He's like one of the most famous dudes in the world.
Right. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's cool. I really enjoy I really like the opening scene where we got to see just a random civilian who was affected by, the events of the Avengers. I thought that was kind of cool, kind of getting a look in a backstory where her house gets like totally destroyed. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I really dig that. And I do like the humanizing of Clint and the Avengers just in general, at least Clint and mostly, where he's just like, yeah, I'm just a normal dude with a normal family. I don't do this because I'm a superhero. I just do it because it needs to be done.
This is my job,
Right. Yeah. And I appreciate that.
I really like the scene. And Jesus H. Christ is in the chat. Worth a watch, fellas? I think it's definitely worth a watch.
I think it's pretty good. Yeah. If you've seen the other ones, this one is right on the nose with those other ones.
Yeah, depending on how this show goes, like this could be one of the better ones too. So far, that's the impression I'm getting. Like I'm just like enjoying it. It reminds me of like a more fun Daredevil, like a more contained within the city sort of story. Like he's trying to get that suit back, and that's kind of the story right now. Obviously, it's going to unfold into more like what's going on with the uncle and all that stuff.
Right.
But for right now, the story is literally he was Ronin, Kate Bishop wore the Ronin suit, and now everyone's trying to kill Kate Bishop, so he has to like defend this girl, and that's the story. And like I like how it's not like Thanos is trying to snap the world out of existence. It's or even in like Falcon Winter Soldier, it's like all the super soldiers are trying to take over the world or whatever. Or Loki was like probably the most grand one, where it was like
the world is the universe is splitting.
Yeah, literally there are different dimensions, and WandaVision was like she's gonna take over the whole world if she's not stopped or whatever. So this one's a lot more like a Daredevil-ish. It's just not as dark as Daredevil because it's on Disney Plus.
If you're comparing it to Daredevil is like the Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more kind of, it feels more kind of like Better Call Saul, I guess. Like there's jokes in it and that's funny, but it's still kind of it is kind of dark, but it also has that comedy to it.
It's
whereas Daredevil was just like, this is fucking serious, shit's going down. Kingpin's gonna fucking kill everybody.
Dude, what if Kingpin shows up in this one? That'd be nuts.
I don't know.
Good. He could.
I liked it. It was pretty good. I'm curious of what they're gonna do. Another thing that kind of bothered me is the fact that everything kind of seems to just work out for the story, for story purposes. It's just like, oh, and now we're in an auction and there's an explosion and people are just like entering with guns. And it's like, well, that could have been handled so much better, I feel like, rather than just there's an explosion while we're having this really intense, kind of quirky scene.
Yeah. But I feel like that was like, okay, this is like a black market and this is what happens at black markets or whatever. I don't know. And it is convenient, I suppose, but I don't know. The most convenient thing to me was just like when he goes into the hotel room with his kids and he's like, it's a little late for TV, kids. And it's and then just so happens to be on the news. Hey, look, it's Kate Bishop, or it's not Kate Bishop. It's Ronin.
It's Ronin. Who's you? Yeah,
I love how everyone is just like, "Yep, that's Ronin." Not like, this could be an imposter or this could be anything else. Everyone is just like, "Yep, that's the original Ronin," even though he's been gone for 3 years.
That's probably the biggest weird thing for me. It's just everything is just so on the nose. It's just like, well, this is how the story's going to go because we said, like this is the way the world is right now.
Yeah, the things, they had to set it up, but we'll see. I do think it is a show right now where I'm like really liking it, but they could fuck it up real easy, I think. And I feel like we say this every time they drop the
Every
2-episode starter, where it's like this could be the best show ever, or it could not be. I think every show's first episode has some jank. I feel like that's just part of like setting up a television show. But honestly, like I didn't mind it too much, like the explosion and all that stuff. Like I was like, okay, yeah, I could see this happening at like some evil lair, where they're trying to get the Ronin suit or whatever.
Yeah, but like there was a point in the first episode. You probably saw it. I saw it clear as day, where she's fighting the guys that exploded the vault, I guess, and she like holds up a wine bottle. And then there's an obvious, really shitty cut that happens, and then the wine bottle's explosion. I'm like, ooh, God, that looks horrible. It looks so bad.
They definitely could have done that better. I did notice that for sure. I like that scene a lot because they're, take
that out.
Every television show where it's like, let's smash a bottle over someone's head, they always explode. I really like the fact that it didn't explode. It was like thunk, thunk, thunk. Yeah. It's way more realistic. But that also means that like they didn't have one that would just shatter. They probably had one, so they're like, okay, and cut,
and then hold your hand up, and
totally.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I did notice that, but also, I think on Disney Plus we're gonna see those little budget cut things.
Well, that's fine. I mean, shows. it's kind of funny, but it's kind of funny, but also you got to look at it sometimes, just like, well, that was an odd choice to leave that in. Yeah, I don't know if it was part of like the humor, and they're like, we should leave this in. It's kind of funny,
Yeah. Maybe I'm just like so apologetic to that shit after watching like, several seasons of The Flash, where I'm just like, what the fuck is this TV show, And so I watch this and I'm like, this is a fucking masterpiece,
Yeah.
But I liked it a lot. I really like the characters. I really like that Clint is like deaf, and then she's like, oh, how'd that happen? And he's like, too hard to tell, and it like cuts between all these explosions that he's I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's good.
I'm trying to think of like any interesting scenes. I really did like the wine cellar auction. I think that was a really, really cool, interesting scene until they got to the fight, and I thought the fight was just kind of lackluster. Like it wasn't very well choreographed, I guess, or
I
it wasn't
feel like
shot right. It was kind of awkward, I think.
I almost feel like that was intentional, though, to be like, she's good at fighting, but she doesn't really know what she's doing.
Right? Yeah.
I
feel like we got that in the scene where she's hiding in the car. I feel like the same point was said there. So no, I don't know.
I think that's going to be. I think that's going to be a continuous point throughout the show, because there's even like the shot where they're in in her apartment, and Hawkeye like catches the Molotov and throws it back, which is a really cool scene. I wish that didn't get spoiled in the trailers. But yeah, that's really cool. But then she's like, "I got this," and she like shoots the fire extinguisher, and it just kind of shoots up. And it's like, she doesn't really know what she's doing. And I kind of like that. And this is going to be sort of like, an Obi-Wan and Anakin situation here.
Yeah. There's a better
it's going to be like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan here. It's going to be like Yoda and Qui-Gon here.
more like Yoda and Anakin, maybe.
And Luke.
Yeah, Yoda and Luke.
It's going to be like Yoda. It's going to be like Obi-Wan and Luke. How about that?
Yeah.
It's going to be like Rey and Leia. How about that?
It's going to be like Luke and Leia.
All these people have been trained in Star Wars. There's too much training in Star Wars, God damn it.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I'm excited to see where it goes.
How many? Do you know how many episodes we're supposed to get?
I don't. I'm assuming 6 to 8.
Okay.
Seems to be how these shows go, eh?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I could look it up. Let's see. Hawkeye. How many episodes? 2.
Oh
No,
wow! Holy shit! That's it. That's the end of
that's the
the whole
whole
thing.
show. What a fucking bummer, eh? Uh,
Well, I
uh,
mean, I don't think they ended it very well. If that's the case.
yeah, I don't know. I literally can't find it. I do have one more thing to ask. Just like let's do some theories before we like end the show here.
Well, I already said my theory, but
What's your theory?
that the mom hired
Oh, okay.
to kill the guy.
Yeah, and I like that mom. She was in the Conjuring movies. She's good.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
good.
that's what I heard.
Good actor. I'm not that this is a theory, but I'm just bringing it up. Okay, I'm just bringing it up. You think we're gonna see Eulela in this show? Is that her name? Yelena?
Yelena?
Is that her name? Fucking Black Widow sister.
Oh, yeah, Black Widow's sister. No, maybe at the end. I think this is going to be a fairly contained thing.
She's got to make a cameo, right?
Maybe, or maybe she does. Maybe she appears like halfway through when they get rid of like the main bad in so far, and then halfway through, Yelena's going to be the new bad.
I'm just thinking like, well, first of all, Black Widow has just like a connection to Clint,
Right.
and I do like the fact that like he ends up leaving the play basically because he's like, it's too hard to see her because she's dead, and I like that. But I also like that he like muted his. That's funny as fuck. But also, the end of Black Widow, the end credit scene is like, it's Elaine from Seinfeld, and she's like, hey, you gotta fucking kill this guy, or whatever she's saying. Whatever she's saying, I still believe that could be a misdirect. But I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah. What about the guy who killed your sister or whatever?
Yeah. You want to know who killed your sister? Yeah.
So I feel like she's got to show up at some point, and you might be right. It might be at like the end, and it's like setting up
the next season.
Maybe the next season. Because I do wonder, like, what are they gonna do with her as well? Florence Pugh's character, whose name is Yelena, or Eulela. I don't know.
It's weird. It's like a really long name.
Yeah. Because I do wonder, because it's not like you can just like put them in like an Iron Man movie. Like, are we gonna get like Yelena the movie, or are we gonna get like Black Widow 2, or I don't know.
Right.
And like we're gonna see John Walker again. Like they're setting something up here, and I'm just like not sure what it is.
It's got to be like what is the Avengers, but they're dark. The Dark Avengers.
The Dark Avengers, yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
It's got to be like that, where they're anti-heroes. I feel like they're gonna bring anti-heroes into this next series, especially with all of these.
Well, with like Blade and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it almost feels like they're setting up Midnight Suns with Blade and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like Marvel's in this cool place again where it's like, I don't know what's coming, Like, I know the movies that are coming, obviously, but like, I don't know what they're setting up.
Yeah, it could be. Sorry, excuse me. It could be something like really shitty. Honestly, like in the future, it could be like, wow, this is really dumb, or it could be really fucking cool, and they could do it right.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people are probably going to be like, it's hard to care about this show when we just had like Eternals, which is so massive, and like, how do we care about this? And it's like, I don't know. I think smaller stories still work when there's bigger stuff going on too. Like I think it's totally fine, and that's why I'm like, everyone's concerned about the future of the MCU, where it's like things are so massive now. Like, what do they do? And it's like, you can still tell stories like this within a universe where there's like massive things also happening.
I mean, even when Avengers came out, not Iron Man, Daredevil was out, and that was a great fucking show. So, and it was set in the same universe. It's like,
loosely.
Well, they mention it a couple of times.
Yeah.
The incident. Yeah, but it's kind of it's interesting to see the smaller things. I really like the fact that we're getting a Hawkeye show, because I don't think Hawkeye was showcased enough.
No, yeah.
In any of the things. So we get to see like his cool gadgets, hopefully, and like what he can do, and just his personality, really, because his personality wasn't even on the first in any of the Avengers except for Ultron. Which I'm like, oh, I'm glad that they did that, because
he's a family man now.
He's an interesting character. He's like one of the only characters who isn't like a superhero, you know, and I dig that.
Yeah. Yeah, because even like, you know, Black Widow, before her movie, like before that existed, you know, she was still a pretty prominent part of Iron Man 2 and of Captain America. The second one.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Like, she's a big part of those two movies. And then, of course, the Avengers movies, like, she's a huge part, where it's like Clint is in a scene of Thor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, hardly.
He's in like a split second of Thor, so it's like cool to see. And he gets way more time than Black Widow did, because Black Widow got a 2-hour movie. This man's getting, you know, a 6-hour television show.
Well, he's already had 2 hours on the air. Yeah. But apparently those are the only 2 episodes, so
apparently. But I will say, it does feel like they're like, no. The main character of this show is Kate Bishop. Like, it does feel like that's what they're pushing. Like, this is a Kate Bishop show.
Well, I feel like they're doing that because they're setting up the next Avengers as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Cap's gone, Tony's dead, Widow's gone. Like, they're setting up the next Avengers. So Kate Bishop has been Hawkeye in the comics.
Yeah. It does. It definitely feels like she's the main character of this show.
We got Falcon Cap. Falcon Captain.
Falcon Falcon.
That should be his name. Captain Falcon.
Captain America. Yeah.
Captain Falcon. Falcon America. America's Falcon.
That is America's Falcon.
Man. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm excited though. I'm excited to see where it goes. I wish I knew how many episodes there were, but
oh well. We'll know. We'll figure it out.
Find out.
We'll find out.
Thanks
for watching, everybody.
That's it. That's all I got.
If you agree with us, please put it in the comments. If you don't agree with us, please put it in the comments. Hit that like button. That dislike button that's no longer there.
It's there. It just doesn't mean anything.
Well, you hit whatever you want. Just start hitting buttons on your keyboard until something happens. And catch us on the next one. Well, we'll be doing the third episode next Wednesday.
Also, we're trying to raise money for able gamers. Come over to twitch.tv/lonercast. Ha.
All right.
Alt F4 to subscribe.
Hello, boyos. Welcome to the Lonercast Spoilercast. We're talking about Hawkeye, episode 3. The Hot Guy.
The Hot
Guy. Episode 3. We're not talking Ryan Reynolds. I forget his name. I forget Hawkeye's actor's name. What is his name?
Jeremy
Reiner. Jeremy Renner. That's his name.
Jeremy Renner, yeah. Famous musician, Jeremy Renner.
Yes. He's the hot guy this time.
Have you heard his music? It's very cringe.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's very cringe.
I have not.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Any hoozle. Yeah, we're talking about Hawkeye, episode 3. I just watched it today. And gotta say, this episode's got some character development in it.
It's pretty hot.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
it was super good. Dude. It was super good. The ending was a little like, it left me wanting more. I felt like,
yeah, but I think that's a good thing, right?
The way that it kind of like progressed, it was just like, here's all this really cool shit. Like our evil person's fucking deaf and has a bum leg, and like that's really fucking cool. And her dad seems really cool, like a really nice guy, which I don't think would happen if he's like dealing with the fucking tracksuits, you know. Although they do show the tracksuit guy who's just like, "Hey, I'm having this problem with my girlfriend. What's your advice?"
Hey, bro.
So,
Have you ever watched Barry?
no, I haven't seen Barry.
Dude, you would love that show. It's got Bill Hader in it, which is your guy. He looks exactly like you.
He does. He does.
But there are like no.
That's not Bill Hader. Who's that? John Heater?
Yeah, that's John Heater.
John Hader. John Hader.
No, Bill Hader is the guy from SNL.
Yeah.
In Barry, he's a hitman, and the people he hangs out with are these like Russian guys, and they're hilarious. They're like, "Hey, bro, it's so nice. Can you train my guys?" And they like grow this like fun relationship. And these guys remind me a lot of the guys from Barry, where they just seem sort of like dumb, but like kind of sweet, but also they kill people.
Guys. Yeah. They're the sweet guys.
And that's what I like about this show a lot is like just there's this like there's this
overtone.
Like mist of comedy on top of it that I really like. And it's very much like an 80s action where it's just like, this is silly, it's stupid, but it's fun as fuck. I wanted to, since you brought up Echo at the beginning, sorry, I'm rambling here, but
no, that's fine.
I want to get your thoughts. This is a spoiler cast, so we're going to fucking spoil the shit out of this right now.
I mean, we're on episode 3. If you haven't fucking seen episode 3, it's like 45 minutes. Just watch.
Yeah. We're halfway through the show. Okay.
Already. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. 2 weeks in and we're halfway done. But
fucking weird. Anyway, Echo. Is that what her name is?
Yeah, Echo.
Okay.
You know who the uncle is?
No, I don't know who the uncle is.
You couldn't tell who the uncle was?
You mean actor?
You just don't know who the uncle is?
No, I don't think so.
They did not say, but I think they made it very clear who the uncle is. Because there's
Kingpin?
Yeah.
It's Kingpin?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do think it is Kingpin.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a scene at the beginning where he's like, I'm going to have your uncle take you. And then it shows like just this big guy in a suit.
The uncle, not the dad. Not the dad. I was thinking the dad. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. And they don't show his face.
And he like pinches her cheek, but like in this like aggressive, like, I've got a lot of stature. And his little like laugh sounded exactly like Vincent D'Onofrio. Dude, that is fucking Kingpin.
You're fucking right. I thought you were talking about the dad. I'm like, the dad was the
I guess
guy, I think.
And I may be wrong about this, but I heard this somewhere. I guess in the comics, her dad is Kingpin. So they changed it a bit to make him her uncle.
Oh.
But that is not what gave it away to me. What gave it away to me is like, I literally, when I was watching it, and
he's in a suit, and nobody else is in a suit. And they showed his
head. I literally, vocally, at 1:30 in the morning when I watched this shit, went, oh my fucking God, no way. Yeah, dude, that is totally Kingpin.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're in no way in hell are you wrong. Because I didn't see it. And you're like, yeah, this is Kingpin. I'm like,
and that's why
it fucking is. There's nobody else who it could be.
And that's why her dad ran the jumpsuits or whatever they're called, because he's in charge of like a million different things,
Yeah. And he's totally, it's 100%.
Which
and that's why they didn't. That's why they didn't show him their face. That's just why he was a hand.
It gets me thinking, Nick. This show leads in right into Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Come on, man. Kingpin's going to be in Spider-Man.
Kingpin and Spider-Man, for sure.
He's going to be in Spider-Man. Maybe even just as a cameo to set up like, hey, he's the villain of the next movie.
I mean, it's been rumored that not Courtney Cox, the chick from Friends, Courtney Cox, Monica is going to be, Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox is in the movie. There's like been pictures. But it's rumored still, so I don't know if those pictures are real.
I've been saying since the beginning, this show, more than the other 3 shows, feels like one of the Netflix shows more than the other ones. I think.
I agree, and
it totally
it's
has
a little
that vibe.
It's a little less dark.
Yeah,
I
yeah, for
like the
sure.
Christmas overtone. It kind of gives it that
But this
Die
show had
Hard
that
kind of
fucking
feel.
this episode had that scene where we got to see Ronan just fucking slaying dudes and the blood splatters
Well,
on the
yeah,
windows.
we saw that, and then
I was like, holy
we also
shit.
saw Hawkeye just fucking killing people's hands and feet and shit. And I was like,
That's true.
oh damn, that's fucking cool.
That's true.
Like we actually get to see him fight like close quarter combat, and I loved it. I loved that fucking scene. The guy's
I
like
was
got the
shocked
gun,
by
and he shoots him right in the hand against the wall, and was like,
Yeah.
oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, I was shocked by the blood. I was like, no way. I can't believe Disney let them do that. But
Yeah.
it was kind of like muted because of the window, so that's probably how they got away with it. Also, the fact that it's like not a movie, so they can probably get away with a little bit more. But yeah,
For sure.
I thought this episode fucking ruled, dude. I loved
super
that
good.
intro with Echo and just seeing how like they turned her into a character in like
Yeah.
you know
In like 5 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
And it's all before the title screen too.
Yeah, and I was like, I totally care about this character. I'm so excited to see more of her. I want to know more.
Yeah.
And also, dude, they totally just teased Kingpin in there. I'm
just,
surprised.
Just out of the blue. Just out of the blue.
I'm surprised you didn't catch that.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, who's this crazy uncle who's just like pinching? I'm like, I hate people that pinch faces, that pinch cheeks.
But
I hate those
would
people.
pinch your face.
He fucking would. You're absolutely right.
Because he still has to be powerful all the time.
I did think it was weird. He was wearing a suit in a fucking dojo. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? But never fucking crossed my mind that they would actually like introduce big ass characters in like what is the other reason for that scene? There is no reason for that scene other than just be like, hey, it's Kingpin. Yeah, for sure.
We're teasing it.
For sure.
Yeah, I like this whole episode for the most part. I do think that scene, the car chase scene, which was awesome. I think like there was some really bad like CG though. Like specifically that goop that's on the window. It's just like, man,
I thought it was kind
really
of funny
bad.
though. I thought it was kind of funny how bad it looked. It looked like fucking Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, but it
was just like, yeah.
But I like the start of that scene where it's just one like continuous shot and it like spins around, so you like see the bad dudes and it spins to the back, so you see more guys, and then you see them struggling, and then it spins around again. It's such an awesome shot, and
it's inside the car, so you feel like you're in the vehicle looking at what they're looking at rather than like outside the car, just like it was really good. It had its funny moments too.
I love them together, and like when he loses his hearing aid, just like the comedy when that happens is just like with the dog on the subway. Yeah, I think you should let the dog out. Yeah, but also there's like that sweet moment where he's like, "You are the best archer in the world." Like, damn, yeah. I love that.
Yeah, this show's got heart. It's got heart.
Yeah, because it's also like, then it was also like really fucking sad when his hearing was gone and she had to like translate for him, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. That's so sad. And that's the other thing I like about this show. There's still not like a lot of stakes. You know, the only thing at stake here is the fact that he might not get home to his family. You know, that's like the real stakes of this. And I like that. I'm into it.
Yeah, it is very fun. It's a very fun show so far.
I think that's how these Disney Plus shows should be. They shouldn't be these huge. These are like one-off adventures for these guys,
yes, it should be one-off adventures, but I think it depends on the character.
Sure.
Like, like if you had Morbius as a fucking one-off adventure, it'd be like, this is weird as a comedy. I don't like it as a comedy. Or, it
doesn't necessarily have to be a comedy.
Well, like something like this, Yeah. I feel like that would be more grittier and darker and Blade-ish.
I feel like they've proven that they can do that too with Daredevil.
Well, yeah, they can't. I don't know if it's the same sort of.
They can't be as gruesome as Daredevil was, but they can do. I'm sure they could. I wouldn't be surprised if after Spider-Man, they're like, oh yeah, season 5 of Daredevil, or season. Is it
4?
Would it be 4?
I think it's 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Every season of that show is fucking amazing. Yeah. Yeah. And
so we didn't see whatever her face is. the Black Widow sister.
Yeah, Yelena.
Yelena.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen her yet, which I thought she was going to show up on this one. But
yeah, me too. And I feel like the fact that she didn't means she's going to show up in like the last episode, and it's going to tease out to whatever's next.
Yeah. It'll be like Yelena and Hawkeye will return. Yeah.
Yeah, in Avengers or something.
And the fucking end scene where she's like breaking into the security system, and Hawkeye just like walks through the house, and then the stepdad fucking holds his own Ronin's blade to his neck, and I'm like, oh shit.
But I also think that says a lot about the stepdad, because if you remember in Age of Ultron, the one person who didn't get snuck up on by Scarlet Witch was Clint. Because you can't sneak up on that man.
Oh, no, because he was mind controlled in Ultron.
Nope.
And she tried to do it again, and he's like, you're not going to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm ready for you this time.
Yeah, but I think that's like, to me, it's like, it's hard to sneak up on this man. But the dad was able to sneak up on him, you know?
So,
am I looking too into it?
I think you're looking too into it. I think it was just like, he heard a noise, like, and he went to go investigate. He's like, what is that rumbling around?
I'm also convinced that the stepdad is not a bad guy. And I'm convinced that the mom is the bad guy. And and the next episode's going to start with him like explaining to Clint, like, hey, this shit's happening and I need your help.
And I need your help. Yeah. That's feeling. Why I'm in this relationship, to stop this woman, because she's fucking crazy.
I don't even think that. I think it's like, hey, I was in this relationship and I just found out that all this bad shit is happening because of her. And I need
she killed my dad, and I need your help.
My uncle or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be a fucking good misdirect.
Yeah, good little bait and switch. I think it's kind of obvious, but that the mom at least is going to be evil. I think that's pretty obvious, but
well, who knows? Maybe we're completely fucking wrong, and she's just not. Maybe she's not acting the correct way, or they want her to be that kind of misdirect. You know, just act like you're the bad person, so that when you're not the bad person, it's that much more of a shock. You know, could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I am genuinely just like excited to watch more of this show. I am
too.
I am too. I think it's great.
It is really good.
I forgot
is that guy who like Echo's cousin or brother? Is that the fucking guy Jon Snow?
No, Jon Snow was in Eternals.
It looks just like fucking Jon Snow.
Yeah,
you're right. He was in Eternals.
Yeah, he was the sword guy.
Mm-hmm. The guy that we don't know about.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who heard Blade's voice or whatever? Yeah. I forgot to mention this last week, so I'll mention it here. I really like that Hawkeye is not lying to Velma. You know?
Which one's Velma?
From Scooby-Doo. His wife.
Is that really?
Yeah.
She's fucking Velma?
Yeah.
She from Scooby-Doo? I didn't know that.
She played Velma in the live-action Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Linda Cardinelli.
They're like a fucking good couple. He's like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll tell you what's going on.
She's like, and she's like, well, just try to get here before Christmas.
And I'm sure he's not going to. You know, I'm sure it's gonna end.
I think it will. I think he will. I think he'll get there right on time.
I have a feeling he's gonna get there like the day after Christmas, and they're all just gonna embrace him and just be like, "It's fine. We love you anyway."
Could be. That could be a good message.
You had to do what you had to do, you know.
And you brought a new one in the family. You brought a new daughter,
Kate Bishop. Or the show is gonna end with just fucking Yelena just murking him,
just killing him.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so fucking sad.
That'd
be so fucking sad, dude.
Just end like a happy ending, and then Yelena just comes out.
Oh my god, dude!
Could you imagine?
What the fuck? No, like the fuck? Wow. If that happens, fucking props to Marvel. Like,
Yeah, that'd be
seriously,
epic,
if that
though.
happens, props to Marvel. I would not fucking expect that, and that would be crazy.
Yeah. They're like, we can't afford Jeremy Renner and Linda Cardinelli or whatever her name is anymore.
Well,
So.
I feel like it's passing the torch. It's like, yeah, this is the new Hawkeye. You know,
Oh yeah, for
obviously.
sure. Yeah, totally. And yeah, they're doing that all over the place in Marvel right now.
Once Jeremy Renner is like retires or just doesn't want to do the part anymore, maybe he'll be old Hawkeye, and she's the one that's like out and about. He'll be like, you know,
Oh god,
Oracle
dude,
or something like that.
I would love to see a. I know we already got Logan, but I would love to see old man
Old
Logan,
Hawkeye
old man Logan again. But like, because
with a Marvel character.
well, the original story of Old Man Logan, Hawkeye was a big part of that. And,
Was he really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've never read it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, dude. You got to read it. It's on Marvel Unlimited or whatever it's called. Their service. You should definitely read it, because the way it works is like Hawkeye shows up and he's like, hey, everyone's dead. The Avengers are dead. It's basically just me and you. We're the only ones left. I need your help. And Logan's like, yo, I got a family. I can't fucking leave. And he's like, well, and Hawkeye's like, well, I'm blind. I can't, because Hawkeye's blind.
Oh,
and
right.
And he's like, so I need someone to fucking drive my car. So yeah, that's the whole comic is about him and Hawkeye.
Shit.
And the villain is the Hulk.
No shit.
Yeah.
I think they kind of go into that a little bit in What If? I think they go into that, and Hulk's like, it's just killed everybody or whatnot, and Hawkeye's the only guy that stayed, and he's like, I don't know if he's blind, but he's like blonde, and he's like still taking out the Hulk just fine. And it's just like, damn, that's fucking cool. Like, Old Man Hawkeye's really fucking cool.
Yeah, in Old Man Logan, the Hulk is like this big nasty green guy, and he has like a family of Hulks. It's like him and his Hulk's sons, and and spoilers to Old Man Logan. Not total spoilers, but this is totally a tangent, dude. But fucking Wolverine is the one who like killed all the X-Men, because he got like brain wiped and like killed them all. It's so funny.
It's so went in a rage.
Good. It's one of my favorite comic series. Anyway, I think Jeremy Renner would be really good as an old man Hawkeye. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's killing it as an old man Hawkeye right now.
Yeah,
like
I like
with
him a
the
lot.
Earpiece, and he's just like, I'm an old man. I got a family.
Retired. Yeah, I like it. But at the same time, it's almost like they're setting him up to be like the leader of the Avengers, almost.
And I dig it. I dig it if he's like the Batman of the Justice League,
Because that'd be kind of sweet. There are certain runs of Avengers where he's the leader of the Avengers, and he's kind of like, besides, obviously Sam, he's kind of like the most qualified one to lead the Avengers.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah, who else would it be besides Sam? Obviously.
I mean, Thor's got his own fucking.
But like Thor's like, he's not a very good leader.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying Thor would be a good leader.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be king of Asgard.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
So like,
it'd be Hulk. It would be,
but Hulk
Hawkeye.
Is, a little unhinged.
Is he though?
I
don't know. We haven't seen him since Endgame.
That's true.
And he was Professor Hulk, so he's got it under control, obviously.
But in the last thing we saw him in, which was Shang-Chi, he was not Hulk anymore. Maybe he lost control.
Wait, he was in Shang-Chi?
In the end credits scene, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. And where
and
he's
he was
like the
normal human again.
That's true. I don't know if he lost control. Like, they could just fucking be taking all of the comic books and just fusing them.
Well,
like,
that's
Professor
Marvel.
Hulk.
That's Marvel.
Professor Hulk, and then he's just like, okay, well, now he's the Hulk that, has a day to himself, and then, the rest of the time he's Hulk,
Yeah, because
that's a sad fucking story.
like Ragnarok was sort of a play on, you know, Planet Hulk, but now they just announced that they want to do a Planet Hulk show. So it's like, but like we already got it, but we didn't really. That's just how Marvel is. It's like, you know,
Right.
Adam Warlock is a huge part of Endgame, or not Endgame, but he's a huge part of the Infinity Gauntlet series in the comics.
Right.
But now they're just introducing him in Guardians, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Guardians 2, they introduce him.
Well, I think they're actually introducing Adam Warlock in Guardians 3.
Really?
Yeah, they announced,
as Guardians?
Yeah, they announced the casting. Did you see that?
I didn't.
It's the dorky kid from that movie with the girl from Friends. Not Courtney Cox, but the other one.
The dorky kid.
Yeah, let me look this up. Who is playing Adam Warlock? Will Poulter.
I don't know who that is.
Look him up. You'll know who he
Poulter.
is. He's that nerdy kid.
Oh, dude, yeah. You guys are getting paid for this?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Apparently he's like really hot now. Yeah, he kind of is. God damn.
He's got I still don't like his face, but
he grew
that hair.
That face though.
Well, yeah, that's true. That hair is pretty good though. That swoop he's got going on.
Yeah, and the jawline. God damn,
pretty nice.
Boy.
That jaw, he's looking like Ian from Shameless.
Sort of. I think that's just the red hair.
Well, it's the jawline too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah,
I'm still.
Okay.
I'm still fucking pissed. It's not Keanu Reeves, but you know, I digress.
Keanu Reeves is going to be some. Dude.
He'd be amazing Adam Warlock, dude. He'd be amazing Adam Warlock.
What if he was like MODOK?
Oh, I saw a thing that was like, what if at the end of Spider-Man we find out Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they're not Spider-Man. They're Mr. Fantastic and Johnny Storm.
Why?
That's just who they cast as Mr. Fantastic and Johnny Storm. Is Andrew Garfield
I see.
And Tobey Maguire.
Instead of more Spider-Mans, they just introduce the fucking Fantastic Four. That'd be fantastic.
The director of we're just getting into like, this is not about Hawkeye anymore.
This is not about Hawkeye. That show has ended. This is now just chatting about the future.
We're just talking about the future of the MCU, which is just as fun. But like, I guess the director of Spider-Man, whose name is escaping me right now.
Mark Webb.
Not that one. Homecoming director. I need to know his name. John Watts, that's his name. Apparently after Spider-Man, the next movie he's working on is Fantastic Four.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I imagine the end credits scene is gonna be some Fantastic Four bullshit. For sure.
Come on, Doom.
It's gotta be.
Come on, Doom.
Well,
they can't have Willem Dafoe play Doom like I wanted.
I think Willem Dafoe is a bit too old.
But that would be sweet. Well, yeah, if they're trying to redo Fantastic Four.
Because you got to get someone that'll be around for like the next 10 years, you know?
That's true, yeah, because Doom's storyline will just go on forever.
Yeah, you can't kill Doom. He's one of those villains you keep alive, like Loki or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because, his stories are so fucking complex, especially with like once Susan Storm gets involved and shit like that. I just want it. I want Fantastic Four.
Don't fuck it up, man. They fucked it up so many times.
They fucked it up twice already.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was fine. It was okay. It was underwhelming. It was so fucking underwhelming. And then I didn't even see the second one.
Before Fantastic Four comes out, we'll rewatch all the Fantastic Fours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen the second one, I guess it would be the third one.
Yeah, the reboot.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I am so down to watch that again. I'm like excited to watch that.
I'm fucking down. Well, that's been our review of Hawkeye and a little bit more future predictions on the MCU. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out our other Lonercast shows. We got the last weekend games coming out every Monday at 3:30
watch
p.m. On twitch.tv/lonercast. and then it goes live the next day on YouTube. So hit us up on the comments.
Podcast feeds.
And wherever you get your podcast.
Including Apple now. Yeah.
Yeah, we figured that fucking thing out.
This one's always been on Apple, though. So
that's weird.
Well, because I worked this one out. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it later.
This feed has been alive for years. Literally.
Literally. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace out, Girl Scout. Yeah. Thanks. Hello, boyos. Welcome to the Spoiler Cast. We're talking Hawkeye episode
4.
Episode 4. We just watched it yesterday. Jake probably watched it the day before. We're doing it a little later because
Game Awards,
mostly timing. And here are our thoughts on episode 4 of Hawkeye. Jake, you want to start? I feel like you have a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, I'm trying to. We just watched the Game Awards. That's also why we're in this setup. We're actually like together.
I was not gonna bring it out.
I can touch you. Normally we're in separate squares. Oh God. And we've got Danielle here. Hello, Danielle.
Hi.
She watched it with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Awards with us.
I'm trying to remember like exactly. Okay, the episode started with them because last week's episode ended with him getting like caught by the stepdad,
right?
And I kind of like the fact that it went into just like there was no fight. It was just like let's have a conversation.
I liked that until that conversation just didn't make any sense to me. Like they were there, and he pointed the thing at the helm intruder, right? And he's like, "Oh shit, you're Hawkeye. There's a reason you're here." Right. And it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But then they invite him to not dinner because they're not eating.
They were just having some tea.
They're just talking. Yeah. And they're like, so you're working with our daughter. And he's like, yeah, but also no. And like, I feel like the dialogue and the whole episode it just didn't feel right. None of it felt right. None of it felt authentic.
I think it made sense. It made sense to me in the fact that like, they know what's going on.
Well, you can definitely tell that the guy and the girl.
Yeah.
Like the woman.
I think the mom definitely knows. I think the dad is a pawn.
I think she's the henchman, but they're trying to make the guy seem like.
Yeah.
Because that's what the girl thinks. And it's like, well, what does the girl really know, you know?
Right.
He's a red herring.
I think he's going to be a good guy. And he's going to end up taking like Hawkeye's side or whatever.
Oh, or that.
And he's going to be like, whoa, I didn't realize that you killed my dad, you know?
But regardless of that, I feel like they know what's going on, but they're also like, we can't fucking kill Hawkeye right here because that's Hawkeye.
Right.
And if we kill him, that's a bad thing. The one problem I had with the show, and we can get into this if you want, but, you know, the whole watch thing, okay? Who's the watch? But then also, they're taking notes about his wife and kids.
Right.
Is he keeping his wife and kids secret? Is that a secret? Because he was flaunting them around New York to see a goddamn play earlier.
Right.
So is that a fucking secret?
That's a good point.
Right. No.
It's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah. And also, what the fuck is the deal with his arrows?
What do you mean?
There's only so many
They always got to refetch
arrows.
them.
He's got to go find them after he shoots them. So fucking
sounds like a video game quest.
Like Avengers was just him launching arrows, and then at the end of Avengers, he's just walking around like picking up arrows. Like, well, I'm gonna need these.
Well, I feel like he doesn't work for the Avengers anymore. So like he has a limited supply now. So
it's still weird because it's all about like his special tips that he has and all the different things those do. And it's like once fired, they've gone. Like, you know, the arrow is just an arrow.
I thought it was just like the what are they called? LARPers got them because of
because one of
them
works at the
NYPD.
Right. And he's like, I need some more fucking arrows. Like cool arrows.
I like that. I felt like that gave it like that video game vibe. Like the LARPers are on your side. Meet them in the park. and they'll help you with this side
And
quest.
all they want to do is make costumes.
I also really I just really was vibing on Hawkeye and Kate. Like I was
Christmas
just
party.
Yeah, when they got together and they're getting drunk on daiquiris,
I thought it turned really quickly to serious.
What do you mean?
Like, it was really fun, and then all of a sudden she's like, "You're Ronan, aren't you?" And I was like, "Whoa!" Okay,
I liked
this
that
got
though.
fucking deep,
I liked that though, 'cause
really
it's
quick.
They got drunk on daiquiris and they're like, "All right, let's have a serious fucking conversation now. Now that we were playing around with our fucking coins and shit." And also, ever since that moment, I kind of noticed she was a bit darker towards him, like a little bit more like distant. Even towards the end of the episode, it was just sort of like she's still like, that's Hawkeye, but she seemed a little bit more I don't know, like, I don't want to fuck with this guy as heavy anymore. But maybe I'm reading too into that.
I didn't get that really.
Because she was like immediately like, okay, I'm going to bed. Fuck this. You're fucking Ronan. You killed people. You're not who I thought you were.
The way I saw it was that she was like, "I've struck a nerve. It's probably best for me not to go through this," you know. And he's like, "Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this." And I think she was like, "I get it."
But I also just read it as like, you're not exactly who I thought you were. Like, you're not this perfect hero that I thought you were.
Well, of course not. Don't meet your heroes.
But like,
Ever.
yeah, I think that's what this show is about.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes. But also, what was I gonna say? I don't fucking know. I was gonna say something.
You got something? Something to add?
I like that whole scene though, with them hanging out.
Yeah, I did like that.
Him like teaching her. I also really like the fact that this is such a good way to explain like why they have these like cartoonish fucking outfits. It's like the LARPers are making them for you, you know?
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
But I didn't like that that's like their whole personality is, "I LARP."
That's not their whole personality.
Isn't it?
But it is like they're nerds. But then it's also like, you know, one of them was like married. I like that scene too, where she's like,
my wife embroidered my bag.
It's his bombshell. I thought that was funny.
Please make sure I get the bag back.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I thought that was interesting because that's kind of a take that you don't really consciously think about when you're watching like an Avengers movie and they're like, "Here's the bag of shit," and you're like, "Thanks." Like, whose bag is that? Because a duffel bag ain't cheap.
Well, it's not cheap. Well, especially for like normal people.
Yeah, and they're like, "That's my bag."
Yeah, that's
Please.
There's
These handles are
sentiment
made out of
behind that one.
leather.
Yeah, there's sentiment behind that one. It's like physically embroidered. Why did he have to take the bag?
Because he was in a
Yeah, I
hurry.
was thinking that too. Just take the arrows out.
You're in your apartment.
It was just the arrows.
Put 'em in
He's got a quiver.
Put them in your quiver. Yeah,
Like, okay,
I thought
you
that
need
was
to
weird
take
too.
the bag.
But maybe
Yeah.
there's like a ton in there. But it was weird. I think that was really just there to make.
Here's
a
all
joke.
your arrows from 2012 to present.
Yeah,
I really,
NYPD's been
they
holding
were
on
all in
to.
this one single precinct.
I really felt like that was there just to make a joke,
Yeah, and then
which is fine. It's
and then
fine.
you got the.
I laughed.
I felt like this just kind of went through everything really quick because one minute we're at the apartment with his parents or the house with his parents with her parents, and then we're in his apartment with the Halloween stuff, the Christmas stuff, and then the next thing we're in her apartment.
Yeah, we're
fighting, and I was like, wow, that just kind of moved really quickly. It went
I
from
felt
like
that too.
it went from like one scene to a completely different scene to a completely different scene.
I was really tired last night when we watched
That is how
it.
shows work.
And I thought like I fell asleep and missed a whole bunch. So I rewatched those parts today and I'm like, nope. I was only asleep for like 5 minutes. I really didn't miss much at all. It just really did hop.
I thought it was
from
really
scene to
well
scene.
paced actually, because I thought it was just like we're getting from one thing to one thing, and I felt like a lot of stuff happened in a nice like 40-minute episode. And I think this was a setup episode because next week is like the penultimate episode, and then the episode after that is the finale.
But
You know,
I think the third episode that we watched where they're captured, we start in the warehouse, like the toy store,
Mhm.
and then they escape the toy store. We're on a bridge, and I think that's the end of the. And then we're at the apartment. That's the end of the episode. You have two locations, and that all links together, kind of seamlessly. Like you're escaping this place, now you're here, and then you're on a bus to get to your house, or you're on the train to get
there's
to your
more
house.
to that.
But like this episode was just like you're at her apartment, you're not at her apartment anymore. She apparently
there
left,
were 3 locations,
but
in this.
she leaves her apartment just like willy-nilly. She's like, oh, I feel bad he's not with his family, I'm gonna leave my family. Like we don't get that exposition of like how she leaves or why she leaves or where she leaves, and it's just like, okay. And then we skip directly into the next night. Like we miss an entire day.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean we miss an entire day?
We miss an entire day. They're hanging out all night.
Yeah.
And then
That entire day, she goes and gets the fucking LARPers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the day.
and he goes and intimidates a guy. I just feel like
What
that.
do you mean? I'm confused. Because, like, and I also felt like he was trying to be like, okay, now you just stay with them for a minute because I need some distance. I think he just kind of wants to get rid of Kate. But then she showed up and was like, hey, I got these movies. I'm here to help you. And he's like, all right. I'll fucking. And also, I did some digging and turns out your stepdad is a bad guy. You know, and like it's only 3 locations that they're at. They're at the apartment, they're at her apartment, and then they're at the Echo's apartment at the end.
Right.
I don't understand what
I
you
just
mean.
felt like that was so choppy. Like there was no
3
there was no
locations.
transitions between any of those scenes. I just felt like it went boom, 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 and it was like that's it. That's the whole. It felt quick to me. It felt too quick for. But I understand there. Are only
I feel like it
6
felt quick
episodes.
because it was well paced, though. It's like that was so well paced that felt like that was 20 minutes when in reality it was 40. You know, like it felt short. I feel the same about The Force Awakens, where it's like every time I watch The Force Awakens, I'm like, that felt like an hour long, when in reality that was 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that way about last night's episode of Hawkeye, where I'm like, that was so fun and enjoyable that felt like a 20-minute episode, you know, when in reality it was 45. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
But I do want to ask you, whose watch is that?
Whose watch is the Rolex that we don't really get a backstory for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a theory.
Her
Could be.
dad's, Echo's dad's watch.
Okay.
Was it a watch that was in the auction?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of been the MacGuffin of the entire show.
Yeah, it was a black market auction.
Mm-hmm.
And in this episode, he's like, you know, if they get that watch, someone's identity that I'm friends with will be revealed.
Oh, well then maybe it's not her dad. Maybe it's
I have a theory.
okay. What's your theory?
My theory is his wife, Hawkeye's wife,
Mm-hmm.
Laura,
Okay.
was like a SHIELD agent or something. Like, and she's actually in hiding. And she's like, I don't want people to know who I am. And that watch was her watch. And that's why it was in Avenger Tower.
It looked like a male watch.
It looked like a woman watch to me.
Oh,
Take a bathroom break.
okay.
Be right back.
All right.
Danny's out of here. She's
She doesn't care. Doesn't care.
she's gotta poop, dude. Let her poop.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay. I liked the last episode much more.
I think I liked the last episode more too, but I still liked this one. I also liked the reveal of Yelena. Like we all knew that was Yelena.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I was like, yeah, Yelena. And I also like that like kind of look. It's so perfect to me. Because it's like, oh, we're setting it up. Yelena and Kate are going to be friends.
Right.
And it's so perfect to me because it's like in Black Widow, Yelena's like, you're such a poser. You're such a poser. Like, you know, you try too hard. And Kate's like, you don't try hard enough, to Hawkeye.
Mhm.
I feel like these two are going to mesh really well together. And I'm excited to see how that goes down.
Why don't you think she killed him?
Killed who?
Hawkeye.
Killed what?
Why don't you think Yelena killed Hawkeye?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? She's out to kill him.
Yeah.
And she had so many opportunities to do so, and she chose not to. She literally walked away as he was beaten.
No, because she had the arrow drawn on her. Kate did. And she's like, don't do that. And then she dipped out.
No, yeah, she said, don't shoot me.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then she put the arrow back.
Yeah, and that's why Yelena...
That whole scene was just so... I didn't like that whole fight scene. It just felt very...
Well, I think there's more to
confusing.
There's more to be unraveled there, for sure. Which I'm not too sure of yet. But it felt to me like, yeah, she's trying to kill Hawkeye, but she doesn't want to kill Kate. She doesn't want to kill Kate. And she was about to kill Hawkeye, but then Kate, held the fucking arrow to her. And she's like, oh... I'm going to dip out. Don't shoot me. You trust me. This guy's bad. And that's what I mean. Like when she found out that Hawkeye was Ronin, to me, it felt like she was a bit more distant after that.
Right.
And was like, I don't know about this guy. And then when Yelena was like, don't shoot me. That's the wrong move. I think she kind of looked at Hawkeye and was like, maybe she's right. That's like the impression I'm getting where Kate is starting to second guess Hawkeye a bit.
Huh.
That's kind of the impression I'm getting. But I could be wrong. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm excited. I do think we're going to see Kate next episode. Or you think they're going to save it for the last episode?
Kate?
Jesus. Yelena.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see her. We'll definitely see Yelena.
We'll definitely see Kate next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Yelena. I mean.
I think there's 2 episodes left.
Right.
So we got to finish up whatever the fuck is going on with her parents. And we got to finish. That's the number one thing. And then we have to get some sort of closure or set up to whatever Yelena is going to do. And then also we got to get some sort of setup for Kate Bishop as Hawkeye as well.
I feel like this whole show is that. But I don't know. To me, it feels like they're setting up a lot of shit. And it's maybe too much.
Yep.
Calm down a little. Because they also had the tease of Kingpin earlier on. And it's like, are we going to see Kingpin?
I don't think we're going to see Kingpin. The more I think about it, I think that was it. I think that's all we get.
I think we'll
I
get...
don't know. They might give us another teaser just at the end to hint towards either a connecting show or season 2.
That's my guess is the end is going to be Kingpin.
Otherwise, why would they have that just as a little cameo?
Just a little cameo.
Well, and also, what if this? Now hear me out. We're all assuming that Avengers Tower is going to be the Baxter building, the Fantastic Four or whatever. What if Kingpin buys it? And that's how the show ends, with Kingpin buying the building.
Buying Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
And that would lead right into Spider-Man, probably.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, though. Maybe at the end of this show, it's like, hey, there's another episode. There's another fucking season of Daredevil coming out. Which would be fucking
That would be a great way to announce that.
Oh my God, that'd be fucking crazy. That'd be so cool.
Be fucking wild.
Daredevil.
Because to me, this show is the most Daredevil of the Disney shows so far. I love this show so far.
Yeah.
I really, really like it.
This and Falcon Winter Soldier.
I feel like this show more so. Feels more grounded and a bit more, city level. Where Falcon and Winter Soldier was such a grand threat. We're stopping super soldiers.
Right.
This one's
they had a super
the day
soldier.
to day.
The what?
The day to day. It's more day to day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one is just more we're fighting dudes who also are good at fighting. But no one really has superpowers.
Right.
And it's black market auctions and
yeah,
more underground crime.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know.
That is very Daredevil.
Yeah. But I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Where do you think the show's gonna go? What do you think we'll see?
Oh boy, I have no idea. I don't know enough about the universe to really predict that.
Beautiful. Well, that's the show, everybody. You heard it here first. We don't know what's gonna happen next. We'll just have to tune in next week, to episode 5. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Alan Wake 2, baby. Let's go.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm just hyped about it still.
Okay.
Let's go, Kate.
What?
I was saying something that had nothing. Well, I don't know. We'll see you next week.
Okay,
These
bye.
guys will see you next week.
Is Kate gonna be in episode 7? 7.
What?
7.
5.
Kate
5.
will be in episode 5.
Do we think she'll actually be in it though?
Kate?
I think she will
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, Kate.
Yeah. Do you think Kate's gonna be in
Yeah,
it?
Kate Bishop is
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, looks like we're all in
Think
agreement.
Clint's gonna be in it?
No, he'll die before the
Oh
episode
my
airs.
gosh.
What about his clit? Sorry. Anyway.
Wow.
Clint?
Okay, let's cut that out.
No bleep. Bio boyos.
Bio boyos.
Hello, boyos. Welcome to the Lonercast. This is the spoiler cast on the Lonercast network. We're talking about Hawkeye, episode 5. Episode 5. We are. That's 10. There you go. That's 50.
No, that's 5, baby.
Okay, sure.
5.
I don't even think you need to know that. Like that's just 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah. We're one episode away. This is the second to last episode. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. My name's Nick. That's Jake. If you
Hello.
don't know, now you know. Ho.
Stay around.
Ho ho. It's fucking Christmas time, and
Ho, ho.
this show is set in Christmas, and it's actually really good the way that they've done it.
Lots
This
of
episode,
what'd you think? Go ahead.
redemption from the last episode. I think
You're crazy.
I wasn't a huge fan of the last episode. This episode was really good. They got some setup. Like they're setting up so much stuff for the future, which in hindsight, I believe will be poorly on this show. You know, like that, especially this episode, it'd be like, yeah, well, we already knew about that. Like, I think it's only for the hype. It's only good for the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Because
I don't
this is
know.
spoiler cast. This is spoiler cast. So if you're not prepared, there's going to be spoilers in here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh boy, there are some spoilers that happen.
Indeed.
There's some crazy shit that happens.
So you mean like I guess like my main concern right now with this show is that they've set up a lot of stuff in this episode for sure. This episode was like exposition. Okay, last
Right.
episode we're gonna have a crazy action scene. This episode we're just gonna talk a lot, which I love.
Right.
I loved all the talking. Lots of great
Mhm.
actors in this show.
Yeah. I mean, there was a fight scene.
Well, yeah, yeah, there was, but
There
yeah,
was.
yeah, but it was mainly talking this episode. Lots of talking.
Mhm.
And my main concern with this show is there's no fucking way they can wrap up everything.
No way. No
You know?
way, dude. This is either going to have a second season,
I'm kind of hoping there is a second
or it's just gonna be more movies. They're gonna have movies like Hawkeye will return in the theaters or something like that, you know. Either way, I'm
Yelena, the
about
movie.
it. That would be sweet, dude.
Yeah.
That would be sweet. New Hawkeye, new Black Widow. I'm down.
Black Widow 2.
Black Widow 2, Hawkeye 2.0, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
I also very much enjoyed this episode. The one thing I love since the end game, it's got to be said, is the I just like finding out who and who did not get blipped. You know, that's just
yeah,
that's just like
that intro is the coolest thing. That's the one thing about this show that I love more than any other show is the intros.
Yeah.
The intros before they have the title screen. It's like I'm about it.
I
I'm
was
fucking
gonna
about it.
I was gonna bring this up though. On this one in particular, it felt a little clunky because it was like, here's an intro, then the Marvel Studios logo, and then
And then a
previously on.
recap. Yeah, and then
And
a
it was like,
recap.
maybe you should have put the previously on before the cold
Yeah.
open, or I don't know. It felt a
Or just
little
not
weird.
included it. Yeah, I felt
Or
like they.
done the cold open into previously on into the Marvel logo, but putting the previously on after the Marvel thing felt
Mhm.
weird, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's fucking 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Who's not watching this? Like it's 6 episodes previously on. Did we really need to know?
Well,
Like,
to be fair, this is a show that's premiering weekly, you know. So
right,
uh,
right. But I
and
mean, I feel like
I actually, since we are watching it weekly, I actually do appreciate the previously on because it's like, okay, now I'm aware of what happened, but it's nice to get a little like, okay, yeah, okay, we're up to
refresher,
speed.
I suppose.
We're up to
Yeah,
speed.
yeah.
You know?
That part where she fucking Yelena fucking gets blipped,
Yeah.
and she turns to Ash and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, dog!" Like my heart sank a little bit, and then she comes back, and I'm like, "What? Whose house is this now?" And she walks out, and it's the same person's house, and I'm like, "Well, she got real lucky."
Yeah.
Like,
It makes you question a lot of like that that must have been so bad. That would have been like the worst thing to ever happen. Like that would have been
oh
worse
yeah,
than the snap. Is like all these people, like what if you're on an airplane?
coming back. That's what I'm saying. This makes me believe that they will go into all the people that died on airplanes and like cruise ships
They
and
won't do
just
it. They
boats
won't do it.
in general. Like
They don't have
imagine
the
you're like on a Japanese, shipping vessel, and you're shipping goods from Japan to Seattle, and you're out there in the Arctic Pacific,
I like to
and just
believe I
you
like to believe
snap.
when the Hulk snapped, okay, when he snapped everyone back. I like to believe that he's like everyone comes back safely. You know?
I don't I
Safely.
don't know, man. I don't know.
So like everyone who was in a safe spot to come back came back in the same spot. But if you were like in a
Everyone
plane,
else
you came down like I don't know on the ground or
on
something. You know,
on the fucking beach with everybody else who was on a plane, or
like everyone who was in a compromising place came back in like the Cardinals Stadium or something.
some people have had to been like sleeping in their bed, right? And when they got snapped,
And then they come back to like
and then
their
they come back
spouse's
to
new husband.
yeah, or even like some new family who's living there now, and they're like completely butt naked, like, oh god, like what the fuck.
I think it's worse. Like you come back and it's like your wife is remarried, and you blip back
Yeah, and you
on
blip
top
back.
of your wife's new husband, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, this is weird."
you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like that would be because you don't know any. It's just like 1 second you're here, 1 second you're 5 years in the future, but everybody else is just
Yeah,
has
I,
been living. So yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. I thought Yelena was great in this episode. I like how
So good,
they
so
kept
good.
her like sense of humor, you know, where
Yeah.
she's like, we're gonna eat some fucking mac and cheese, bruh. Like,
Then she gets real serious. Like
yeah,
she gets that like
menacing.
I'm here on a job,
Yeah,
and I'm here for something. But
she's got some serious Joker brain moments in this episode for sure.
Joker brain,
Yeah, where you're like, she seems a little unhinged.
unhinged. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I could see that.
like when she's like, "You want this mac and cheese? I swear I won't hurt you." She's like, "Maybe I will though. Maybe I fucking will." You know.
Maybe I will. You don't fucking know. Don't
But
trust me.
I feel like the end of the episode was her being like, uh, no, I'm actually a good guy," because
Yeah.
she like took what Kate said to heart. It was like, oh, maybe I should look into who's hiring me.
Right. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely. And she did. And she
Yeah,
does.
which
And we get that fucking that intro of Kingpin, and you fucking called it.
yeah,
You
oh
fucking
yeah.
called it
I
episode
felt like it was pretty fucking
3.
obvious though.
Yeah. But that also goes into show like maybe he's in fucking
Maybe.
Maybe this is like the setup to Spider-Man. and he's
Maybe.
going to be in it because Charlie Cox is rumored to be in it as well.
Yeah.
This movie is gearing up to have so much shit in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing about this show. It's like it's a sequel to Black Widow. It's a sequel to Endgame. Like this one more than others feels like a sequel to Endgame.
Yeah.
And it's also like a solo story for Clint and like an introduction to Kate. Like this show has a lot going on for sure. I can't remember, did they announce that are they doing an Echo show?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
I think they might be, because if they're doing an Echo show, it's like, okay, that we're going to get a lot of Kingpin in that show, I'd imagine. And I imagine Kingpin will probably show up for half a second at the end of this show.
Apparently we are getting an Echo show, Echo series.
I bet he'll be a big part of that show.
Yeah.
And he'll just sort of make all the loose ends with Echo and stuff are not going to be finished in this show. There's
it'll definitely be a setup for like her versus her cousin or whoever that is supposed to be.
Yeah, her brother, cousin, person. Yeah. So like I think like a lot of the Kingpin, Echo, all that stuff is not going to be wrapped up. We're going to get a wrap up of what's going on with the mom though, who works for the Kingpin.
Works for the man. There was a moment where he's like, they have the watch, and he's like, I have to turn into Ronin, talking to his wife. He's like, otherwise the big guy's gonna come out and play. Mm-hmm. I thought he was talking about Hulk. I'm like, hold on. Hulk's gonna come out here and just fucking wreck house? Like,
I thought this whole episode was like they were being a little too on the nose because he's like, yeah, your boss. And I'm like, come on, we know who you're talking about. He's like, we're gonna talk to your boss. Your boss.
Your boss.
Like,
your
winking
boss
at the audience. Like, hey, the boss.
your dad's boss wanted him X'd.
The big guy. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we know. Yeah, I don't know. So was like Clint working for Kingpin? Like, what the fuck's going on here? I guess I
imagine as Ronin, he may have been. Like, because that's just kind of right up Kingpin's thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, maybe Kingpin didn't get blipped, and that's how he like.
I imagine Kingpin did get
Kingpin.
Blipped.
You think so?
No, you're probably right though.
He probably started like growing his shit.
Yeah,
during that
he like
time.
regrew his power during the blip. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and now that all the Avengers are gone, like he's like, the guy to fuck with now.
Well, except for all the Avengers were still there.
Well, yeah, except Tony Stark and Cap.
But they all went off the grid, for sure.
What do you mean?
Well, because like Tony went and like was hanging out at the
lake house.
The lake house and.
Oh, I meant after
after
Endgame. Like right now, yeah, after Endgame. There's not a whole lot of.
Yeah, like the founding members are pretty much all gone except for Clint.
Yeah.
And the Hulk, I guess.
The Hulk. Well, is he gone?
No, he's still around.
No,
he's still around.
He's got the burned arm in the cast.
But he's not exactly a leader,
No. And he never was really.
Well, because before Endgame he was like missing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I guess there was the 5 years where he kind of figured it out, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see how it all goes. I am curious to see if it leads into Spider-Man at all. Like, is there a reason we got this episode right before Spider-Man came out? Maybe. I do imagine Charlie Cox is in Spider-Man. There's a lot of leaks online right now, so everyone fucking, if you don't want spoilers, like, just don't go on. Yeah. Don't go on YouTube. Jesus Christ, dude.
I am trying my hardest to not see any spoilers. I've
seen it all, Nick. I've seen it all.
I'm gonna try to stay in the dark.
I'm actually kind of mad.
Really?
Kind of mad. Yeah, I don't care about spoilers, but goddamn, I've seen it all, dude.
That sucks. I don't know why. I don't know why you do that to yourself.
I didn't do it, dude. It just it came up on my YouTube feed.
Ugh,
And I saw it. I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, oh, whoa, okay.
I
That
don't know,
was
man.
Zendaya sucking Jacob's
Oh,
penis or Ned's penis.
oh, okay. Well, that's different.
The actor's name is Jacob, whatever.
Got. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I saw a thing on Reddit, and I'm like, it was like, I think Spider-Man, and I'm just like, scroll.
Yeah.
you know, like, no, I don't want to see any of this. I don't even care if it had a tag like no spoilers at the beginning, and
They've
I'm
done
like,
a
I don't
lot of
care.
press
I do
screenings
not
and
care.
stuff. I wonder.
There
I
was
gotta
there
look
was
this
one
up.
where they like interviewed all of the bad guys in the movie. It had Willem Dafoe and Jamie Foxx and Doc Ock. I always forget his name.
Alfred
Um,
Molina.
Alfred Molina, and I've seen clips of that, and I'm like, I don't even want to watch this. I don't want to watch this interview.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah,
anything
for
else.
sure.
Or there's like TV spots that'll come up, and it's like, watch this 3-second clip of a thing. And I'm like, I'm not watching that. I don't want to see it.
Well, I saw one with Tom Holland, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm excited to stop lying." And I'm like, "Tom, you shut your fucking mouth right now. What are you lying about, you piece of shit? You shut your goddamn mouth." Right now, Spider-Man: No Way Home has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
From what I hear,
high.
it's like one of the best Marvel movies. But
We'll see.
I think we're in the honeymoon period right now, and
Yeah, this
everybody's
could
just kind
just
of like,
be, hype. A lot like Star Wars Episode 8 or whatever.
mhm,
Because a lot of people are just
yeah,
like hyped to see a new Star Wars and actually think about the content.
yeah,
Um,
yep.
but anyway,
Back to
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Uh,
There's not a whole lot to say in this. Like they didn't really like do a whole lot of crazy stuff. It was
ooh,
mostly just recuperating from that fight with Yelena and figuring out what to do next. That's pretty much it.
I like the fact that the firefighter guy,
Uh-huh.
he's sort of
Yeah.
becoming like
Alfred,
their guy,
the
behind
the
the
guy in the
chair,
chair.
the
Yeah,
guy in
the
the
guy in the
chair.
chair. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's kind
I
of
dig that too.
yeah. I like
He's
that
like
they're like, yeah, you're
he's
just one
like
of the homies. Yeah, you're
he's like their night nurse.
yeah, exactly. I like that a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah.
Um,
It's pretty good.
Also,
It's pretty
just
good.
give the dog to him. Maybe just like let the dog be his.
Well, you can't because it's Lucky, and that's Kate Bishop's dog.
But why is it?
I don't.
She just found him.
She just found him.
They
She
haven't
saved
explained
him.
that dog at all. The
That
dog is
yeah,
just
that it's just there.
yeah. We also need to
That's
know what's going on with the watch. We don't know. We don't know what's going on with the watch.
I'm sure the watch is like
Something to do with his
Kingpin,
wife.
Kingpins or something. Um,
Because he's like, we've been so off the grid. It's got to be something to do with his wife. His wife is somebody.
yeah.
Um,
The intro, I thought it was his wife, and not like. I'm like, why is Yelena fighting his wife? And I'm like, oh, this is in the past. Gotcha. Because I
yeah.
forgot what she looked like.
Maybe his wife was a fucking Black Widow.
Oh,
Maybe.
and that's why he was able to turn Natasha, because he turned his wife.
Yeah. We assumed that story he was talking about where he was fighting a widow and like saw in her eyes was about Natasha. Maybe it was about her.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Spicy.
I know in the comics, I think her name's Laura, right? I think Laura in the comics is nobody. She's just a woman. So
Mhm.
whatever they do, if they make her something different, that will be like a totally like MCU specific
A
thing,
new, yeah, for sure.
which is cool. That is one thing I want to get your take on this, Nick. Do you think the show's too predictable?
Yeah.
I think so. It's a little, but also I don't think I mind too much.
No, like I don't think it's gonna be on above like WandaVision on our list, but it is really good.
Yeah,
It's just like it hits that spot where I'm happy with it.
yeah,
They didn't fuck anything up. They're not like crazy out of bounds. They're not doing something like massively cool, kind of like Loki, where they just kind of went, "Fuck it, we'll see if people like this,"
yeah.
And but yeah, it's very safe, and it's very like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. I know this is
I
gonna
think
happen.
one thing I think this show is better to look at than Loki was. Where like
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of effects in this.
yeah, but I
This
think
show
that like
though.
suits the show really well. Where like a lot of times I thought Loki was kind of ugly and just like I don't know, like almost like Zack Snyder could have directed that or something. Um,
Eh.
but this one is like I really like the look of New York and like I just the practical effects at times.
Oh man,
I
that's
think their
sticky. That's
suits.
sticky arrow though.
Yeah,
Come
that
on,
was
man.
the one exception. Well, there's a couple things in this show where you're like, ooh, like that one scene where,
Hmm.
you know, the
The
glass.
the bottle, yeah,
Yeah.
the bottle gets shot. Yeah, ooh, that
If
was
you
rough.
slow that down really slow, you actually see that her suit is CG'd or whatever, or like
Okay,
partially,
really?
and it like flashes away for a split second and comes back.
Oh,
Yeah, if you go back to that scene and watch it in slow mo and like frame by frame, you see like her cap disappear and then come back.
oh my God, they didn't
Yeah,
even cut. They didn't. They could have just cut that.
yeah, they just totally missed that. They
They
just
missed
messed
that
it up.
frame.
Yeah, they need a day one patch on Hawkeye.
Yeah. I wish the fighting was a little better in this show. I wish it was directed a little better. I feel like the fighting's kind of dull.
I thought the
Um,
fighting in this episode in particular was really good
it was
with
okay.
Ronan and Echo. Like that shit was fire. I thought that shit was real good.
It was all right. It was no, Daredevil.
Yeah, that was that whole show though.
Yeah, it was really good though.
C-
Like that whole show was fighting and exposition,
Yeah,
and it was just the perfect blend of the two.
nothing's Daredevil is like it's the Dark Knight of television superhero shows.
That's true.
Like
That is true.
nothing will ever touch it. So it's not
Mm,
even fair to make that comparison.
I
You
don't know.
know?
I feel like somebody could do something with
Mm,
it.
it's so good. I have actually been meaning to rewatch it.
Yeah.
I think after this show ends, I'm gonna rewatch it just because.
Well,
Honestly, I just fucking love that show. It's
we
great.
got some more shit coming out. We got The Witcher season 2 coming out, and we got The Book of Boba the week after that.
Man, I
So,
could not give a shit less about The Witcher
well,
if I'm being honest with you.
yeah, that's true. I know that's not your time frame, your style.
Well, I tried to give The Witcher season 1 a shot, and I always like I just don't get it. I don't know what's happening. I don't.
Is it all the time cuts? The like
I guess
each episode in The Witcher 1 is like a
well,
short story.
I was just like, why do I care about this guy? Like, why am I supposed to care about this guy? You know, this
I
big white
guess
haired man.
because he's cool.
Like, what is this guy? What's his deal? You know,
He's cool. That's his deal. He's cool.
he's just
He
cool.
fights monsters.
He's just cool, fights monsters. Yeah,
He saves a guy.
yeah.
Actually,
Toss a
no,
coin.
that was the anime, Witcher anime, which is really cool, by the way.
I did hear season 2 is gonna try and be more,
It seems like it's more focused on
more of a
a singular
story.
story, yeah,
Yeah,
rather than a bunch of short
the
stories put
one-offs.
together. Yeah,
Maybe I gotta give it another shot. The season 1, but I
it's
just
it's a little rough. It is a little rough. I'm actually really surprised at how many people like that show
I think it's just because everyone likes
because
The
it is.
Witcher, and
Yeah,
they're just like,
because it is very choppy. And it's like if
yeah,
you don't realize that they are short stories, then it's like what the fuck is going on? Why are we back in time? Why are we forward in time? Yeah.
yeah. I kind of picked up on it like in the second episode. I was like, okay, but then I was still just like, who is this guy? I don't,
Hmm.
you know.
Did you
Uh,
get you didn't get to Dandelion, did you? Toss a coin to your
I mean,
witcher.
like I've seen, of course, I've seen that, but
Okay, yeah, but like once he's introduced, then it's like I like this guy.
he is introduced in the second episode, right? I think,
He
but
might be.
he doesn't sing the song.
No,
Yeah,
that's like the third or fourth one.
yeah. Of course, I've seen that though. That was
Mhm.
like a big meme everywhere.
Oh, it was so good. It was so
Yeah.
good. It was so well written. Anyway,
So
uh,
You think Echo is gonna be like a good guy at the end of
no,
this? I
no.
think so. I think
I
Echo's gonna
think
be a good guy.
No way. I think Echo's gonna be like a what do you call it? Like a Daredevil type, or not Dare
That's a good guy.
like a Deadpool type, an anti-hero.
An anti-hero, like a Vegeta. It's
Like a
still
Vegeta, like a Vegeta. Like
still a good guy.
she does like good things, but she does it in a terrible way.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
Deathstroke. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Deathstroke's kind of paid.
What?
Deathstroke,
Yeah.
Slade,
Yeah.
DC Comics.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about like OG Deathstroke, not Deathstroke Suicide Squad Deathstroke.
That's Deadshot.
Oh, god damn it, dude! DC sucks, man.
Deathstroke
DC
is Slade though. Slade Wilson. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Suicide Squad has
Deadshot.
and Deathstroke. No, they don't. No, he doesn't. God
No.
damn it,
Bloodsport?
dude. No, I'm thinking of Deadshot. Oh my god, Deadshot, Bloodsport, and Deathstroke are all the fucking same character.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
And Rick
all the
Flag is
same character.
guy. Yeah, they're all the same guy.
And even Toilet Head
Peacemaker.
guy, Peacemaker, is
Yeah,
the same
they're
guy.
all
They
the same
don't.
guy.
They don't. No, they. Oh god, so stupid. So dumb.
Deathstroke is the coolest though.
Deathstroke is the coolest.
Remember he was the bad guy in Teen Titans?
Yeah,
They could-
that's where I was introduced to him.
Yeah, they couldn't call him Deathstroke because it was a show for children. So they called
They called him Slade.
they called him Slade, yeah.
That was a great show.
But in the
But-
comics, Deathstroke is a bit more ambiguous, where he's
he just takes
he's
a job. He
he's
takes
a
a job from
mercenary.
anybody. Yeah.
He's a mercenary, but at the same time, he has a good heart sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He it depends on who's writing the comic, I guess. But there's specifically one that came out a few years ago that I read that it was like him and Wonder Woman get like sent to hell and they have to like work together.
That sounds great.
It's a Justice League. I'll let you.
I don't really give a shit. That sounds horrible. That actually sounds really dumb.
It's
but-
pretty tight. It's pretty tight.
Like sent to hell. What is this fucking
It wasn't like hell. It was it was like
Odysseus?
what's the guy the bad guy from the new Justice League movie? That guy.
Ronan.
Darkseid.
Dark Side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his land, with the demons, the parademons.
Yeah, that really boring land where everything's gray and doesn't
Well,
look good at all.
when it's fucking Zack Snyder doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that was our discussion on Hawkeye episode 5 and a lot more.
We barely talked about Hawkeye, but
No,
whatever.
we filled it out. I mean, it was an episode. It was a 40-minute episode. There's not a whole lot to say. It was a bunch of exposition and a bunch of like, what the fuck is happening now? It's a bunch of setup.
It's a show with two young girls eating mac and cheese. You know what I'm saying?
And an old guy who's teaching one of them.
Two young girls just trying to figure it out together, eating mac and cheese.
Eating mac and cheese.
Uh,
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. What up, boyos?
oh my God, hello.
Oh, hi. What?
I was just saying hello.
Oh my God. Okay. I thought I did something wrong. Let's start that over.
No,
Hello, boyos.
No,
oh my
hello.
God.
We're
You
just
got me again. You got me again. This is the Spoiler Cast on the Lonercast Network. We're talking about Hawkeye, the final episode of Hawkeye, episode 6.
that hot guy.
That hot guy.
The hot.
Yeah. What did you think about this, Jake?
Yeah. So I guess this will kind of turn into both our, final episode and I guess like series as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's last episode. But as far as the last episode goes, I thought it was cool. I liked a lot of moments of it. I thought all the fight scenes were great. And like it was really cool to see Kingpin back, and I like the new take on him, where he's a bit more, he's more MCU'd, where he's just kind of, I don't know, he's been juicing, he's juiced up.
I think that's just always Kingpin. He's just
Yeah, when it comes to like comics and like, you know,
Right.
the like Spider-Verse or whatever, but when it like this Kingpin, he seems more juiced up than he was, you know.
He seems like he could get up from a lot quicker.
Well, I guess like the Kingpin in the Daredevil show seemed more of like just a guy, you know, just like a really.
Well, they never really showed him.
I mean, there's just.
Fighting.
I mean, you get to see him fight Daredevil a few times in that show, and you know he's strong. He's strong as fuck in that show, but this one, you know, he takes a fucking arrow to the chest and like gets hit by a car. You know, he seems like,
and he gets up right immediately after.
Yeah, he seems super juiced. So, but it was cool to see him. I like the fucking, you know, the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah,
very dadly of him. I appreciate that. The show is a very dadly show. What I will say, and this is kind of as a series, a whole series thing, and then I'll let you go off. As like a full series, I think I almost feel like out of all of these shows, this one would have been the best suited to just be a movie. Like if this was just a movie, I think it would have been better. You could cut out a lot of the fat and just do a movie and it would have been cool. Introduce Kingpin sooner. I kind of hate that about these shows where like they're like leading us on like who's the villain and then they show us in the last episode. I kind of hate that.
Yeah.
Because it'd be fine if it was like this show was 12 episodes and you introduce him in episode 6 and then we get 6 episodes with him. But to just get him for one episode is just sort of a bummer. It's like, I want to see him for more than just an episode. And it's the whole show. You're kind of like, who's the villain? You know, like what are we doing here? You know?
Right. Right.
But ultimately I like the show a lot. It's one of the better ones, I think. What do you think?
My name's Nick, by the way.
Oh, I'm Jake.
Yeah, I said your name before, but I was thinking about doing something a little different. So, you know, I tried it. It worked. Yeah. And I don't know. I didn't like this last episode. I liked the settings. I felt like a lot of the instances were just like, because video games, you know?
What do you mean by that?
Like, okay, so the one that stands out most to me is she just fucking grabs a mouse, like a computer mouse, and just fucking falls 60 stories or 40 stories to the ground. When she's
Kate?
like, Kate, yeah, Kate.
I mean,
grabs
she used Yelena's string, you know,
right, but with a mouse, and she's never done anything like that before, and she somehow survives.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought
it's just like, okay, that's fine. And then, you know, he's up and he's setting like bombs and stuff for everybody else to not follow him, I guess. And this is Hawkeye. Hawkeye's setting bombs around like cubicles so that the tracksuits don't follow him. And somehow the guy that he just gassed managed to go from the top of the building to where he was at, down the stairs and elevators, up the building to find Hawkeye before anything else and punch him in the face. You know, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I guess. And then the scene where they're on the ice and there's like too many dudes. And it was just like, well, they're screwed. And then they somehow fight their way out. Just because
trick arrows.
The trick arrows.
They're superheroes, dude.
And also, they killed people. If they didn't kill people, they straight up like ruined their lives forever. Like there was a scene where Hawkeye shoots an arrow into a guy's leg and his leg becomes ice. I'm like, that dude has fucking trauma. That dude is going to go. He's gonna probably wants to die, but he can't.
Well, I think the worst one was he turned the dude small, and then they get grabbed by an owl.
Then they get grabbed by an owl. They're fucking dead. Those dudes are just so dead.
They're just out there now in the world as small.
Well, you don't think that
things.
you don't think that owl's gonna fucking eat him?
I guess they might have been able to sneak away out of if they could use the truck as some cover, you know.
Is some cover? Yeah, for sure. If they like hide in the truck, but then they've got a fucking journey to go to, because now they're in a tree, probably.
Maybe we'll see the return of them. You know, in the future of the MCU.
I do have to say, I like the fight scenes.
Yeah. There was some really good cinematography. Like there was like this single shot one where it went like behind walls into like different Like,
Yeah,
oh
with
man,
Yelena, and I thought that one was a cool one. I didn't feel like it was deserved. A lot of Kate's fights, I didn't feel like they were deserved.
Why
Like,
not?
I like they're cool, right? Yelena and Kate are cool, and they get on the elevator and they have like their cute little like.
Yeah, I love the moment
know.
where she smacks her. She's like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing? Yeah, like that
Love
that
that.
scene into immediately like fighting each other and
Yeah.
like actually trying to hurt each other, and then they get to the window and it's like, oh, that was fun, and it was just like, okay,
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me a lot of Civil War when it was Clint versus Natasha, where they were
Right.
fighting. That's what I felt like to me, and I feel like Kate was going all out, but Yelena was like, "I'm not gonna kill this girl. I like her, whatever."
yeah.
Um,
Yelena's a really great part
no-
in this show.
Well, and I think they acknowledged that in this episode. It's like Yelena could kill Kate like in a second if she wanted
Well,
to,
yeah,
but
yeah.
she chooses not to. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt like all the strings that they had like set up, they all just kind of went really fast. They just like fixed. There's just like everything is tied up in a little bow, but the bow is real quick and fucked up. It's just like,
Yeah,
we have these really interesting plot points and we're here and it's the end. And it's like, okay, that seemed rushed.
I feel like that's the issue with all of these Marvel shows is they're all too short. I think Netflix did it better where it's like, let's have an actual season, of television and have full plot points because we didn't get to see enough of Kingpin to even give a shit about the whole Echo Kingpin relationship. Like,
Right.
we got, because Vincent D'Onofrio is so good, he was able to kind of pull off the fact that like, I'm your like adoptive father and I love you, but she turned on us. Now we got to kill her. Because he's so good, we're able to like understand that. But it would have been nice to have that breathe where we had an episode where we got to see them just being friends, and then another episode where we see the fallout, and then this episode where it's like, okay, now she shoots him in the face or whatever.
Right.
We needed more time with that whole thing. Like Echo felt so underdeveloped in this entire series, really.
Right. And that was another thing that I really didn't like was that she shot him in the face. Or I guess that it's inferred that she shot her and hit him in the face. Because I see that as, we respect what Netflix did with Daredevil. We're not going to use any of it.
Well,
we're just going to nip it in the bud right now.
There's a few theories out there, Nick.
You got one for me.
I'll give you two theories that I've heard on the internets. Okay.
Okay.
One theory is in the comics, she shoots him in the eye, and he ends up wearing eye patches because he's Kingpin. You can't fucking kill the guy, so he's blind now.
He wears eye patches,
like because he has no fucking eyes because she shot him in the face.
In the one eye. Okay.
Maybe she shot him right here. Just
right.
His eyes are gone.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I haven't seen that one, but okay.
I didn't read it either. I saw comic panels. I guess that happens in the comics. Echo shoots him in the face. He has no eyesight. The other theory is if you look at the shadow behind them, you see Kingpin's shadow. Shot happens. His shadow's still there. So there's two theories there. One,
he shot
her, or she shot next to his ears to make him go deaf. So he can like be like her, I guess. I don't know.
I like that one. That one.
So there's a few theories. I don't think he's dead, dude. I don't think you bring Vincent D'Onofrio back to just have him be back for an episode of television.
I feel like they kind of did that with Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home. They kind of went, here's Daredevil. Doesn't matter anymore by the end of the movie. It's just.
There's been some reports though, Nick.
Okay, this is also spoilers for No Way Home.
Yeah.
There's a tangent for No Way Home. We'll get back to Hawkeye in a minute, but
yeah, Daredevil's a No Way Home spoiler. Sorry, but the rumor, Nick, or not rumor, I guess the reports are from now on, Daredevil is going to be sort of like the Rosario Dawson in the Netflix series to the next Marvel shows. So he's going to be like the connective tissue to all the coming up Marvel shows. So that's interesting. So instead of just like giving him more show, he'll just be in all of these shows.
He'll be the what do you call it? The Samuel L. Jackson
Yeah, he'll be
of
the Agent
the MCU.
Coulson.
Yeah, just kind of the thread throughout. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So
All right, back
he'll
to
be
Hawkeye then.
He'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny there was no acknowledgement of Spider-Man in this show
at all.
because in Spider-Man, and we're getting to the spoilers of Spider-Man, like we see the Statue of Liberty with the shield in this show.
Do we really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're building
I don't
that
remember
shit.
that.
Oh yeah, we see that in this show.
Oh.
And in Spider-Man, we see it get demolished. Also in Spider-Man, we see Spider-Man swing by that tree. That tree gets demolished. So
that's
obviously,
true. That's true. It's in the same time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, this happened after what happened in Spider-Man. So,
no. No,
because the tree was
in the tree still standing. Right
when
by the end of the show.
when Spider-Man swings around at the very end of Spider-Man.
Right. The tree's still standing. However, in this show, we still see the Statue of Liberty standing
Earlier on in the show. Not in this episode.
Okay. So at the Spider-Man happens
in
within
the middle of the show somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why like I would have thought they would have acknowledged it a little bit, just by like, hey, you hear about that statue or something.
You hear about Peter Parker?
Yeah. Well, you
yeah.
can't do that because who's that? You know.
Well, but at the beginning of the show, you know, if you hear about Peter Parker, it's all over the news, and then
at the end
the middle of the show, it's just like
who's Spider-Man?
Spider-Man?
I wonder who he is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like, you know, because like there was a lot of rumors like, oh, Spider-Man's gonna show up in this show the last episode. I'm glad he didn't, honestly. But like, I feel like Marvel knows better to do that than to do that right the week after Spider-Man, because they don't want to spoil that shit, you know.
Right. And yeah, back in Hawkeye.
Yeah, sorry.
That's cool. The if Spider-Man were to show up in any part of this, I feel like the best part of it would be when Kate is fighting Kingpin, because no way in hell do I believe that she beat him. Like
I don't think she really did. I just thought he was just like, get away from me, get away from him. And he didn't realize that she had like big explosive fucking arrows, you know?
I guess, yeah.
So like, I feel like if he knew how serious the fight was, he would have killed her, no problem. But I felt like he was more just sort of like, this is a nuisance, get away from me, child, you know?
Yeah, I guess. It's just, I don't, the whole end of the, like, okay, so the whole show this whole episode was just kind of like, there's ways around this. Like they could have explained this really well. Like with the guy with the brother or the cousin shooting through the windows. There's a really easy fix to that. You close the curtains that they had on the windows. You know, I was looking at that. I'm like, you know, if somebody just closed the curtains, that guy's gonna be blind, and you won't have a problem anymore. There's that, and then I just felt like the show, it just kind of did too much too quick. Like, you're right, it would have been better as a movie, because then we could have focused on
just the main story.
The main story rather than having like Echo's story in the back. And I feel like this movie was just kind of a cock tease, mostly. It was just hey, Kingpin's in here. And it was just like, all right. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the show.
Well, and that's another thing with this show. You know, most of the time with Marvel, they do a good job of being like, oh, you've never watched a Marvel movie? That's fine. You can still come in and watch this one and understand it well enough. If you never watched Daredevil, like, you don't know who fucking Kingpin is. Like, you don't care. Like, that picture you see at the end of the last episode, you'd be like, whatever. Yeah. Who the fuck's that? And then you see him in this, you'd be like, oh, this is just big beefy guy, I guess.
He's just a big guy who can't.
It's like, why do I care about this guy, you know? But you know, it's fine, whatever. And Yelena too. It's like, who the fuck is Yelena? If you've never seen Black Widow, you'd be like, who the fuck is
Well,
this?
I guess they kind of explain Yelena.
Later on,
she
yeah.
thinks he killed her sister, and she wants revenge. That was
more-
another thing. It
It's
was
more
just like
that reveal of her though, like in the episode she shows up, like she just takes off the mask, and if you've never seen Black Widow, you'd be like,
who's this bitch?
That's actor Florence Pugh, I guess.
Yeah.
That
was another thing that didn't strike right with me. It was just like when she's beating up Hawkeye, and the only thing he has to say is like, I'm not lying, and then she's like, you're lying, and proceeds to kick his ass, and then right when she pulls out her gun, she just goes,
she
and it's like,
doesn't do that.
Oh, she doesn't? I thought she
did that.
Okay.
He did that to be like, hey, no, I was friends with your sister, like really close.
Yeah.
Close enough to know that whistle,
I feel like at the end he should have been like, do you want to get a cup of coffee and talk about it? Like,
I think it would have been a nice touch if it was at the end of the show when they're at the farm. It was Kate and Yelena were at dinner with the family, but
yeah,
maybe that's not Yelena's, cup of tea. She's got
that's
more
definite. That's definite Yelena's cup of tea.
Eating, yes, but kids, maybe not.
I don't know. I felt like Hawkeye in the show, just he could have gotten away with a lot more things if he just talked to people, like if he just like explained himself a little bit more, rather than just going, your sister sacrificed herself. She's like, no shit, shit,
but is she really gonna? He's right though, like, hey, so there was like this big space Nazi guy in the sky who had like a red face, and he's like floating like a fucking ghost, and one of
Like
us
a
had
ghost,
to like
man.
we had to like kill a person we love to get one of the Infinity Stones for the snap. She'd be like, no, fuck off, you're lying, you killed my sister to get that stone or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you don't bring that up. You kind of like sugarcoat it in like reality,
Yeah, but also it's like
she killed herself to save my life, kind of thing.
I liked the move where he's like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but she sacrificed herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like at the end he's like, your sister was better than me,
Yeah,
so,
I did
beat
like
me.
that line.
Yeah, she was better than me, like if she puts her mind to it, she wouldn't let anything happen that she didn't want to happen. And that was kind of also the moment where Yelena was like, he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked the show at first. I thought the undertone whodunit was really interesting, and then they just kind of dropped the ball towards the end. It was just kind of like I feel like the second to last episode was much better, where it was just kind of like, oh, we're really getting into this, and then at the end it was just a big fight with. It felt like a side quest, it was just a big fight with tracksuits, and that was it. That was the resolution that we got.
I felt like this entire show was a side quest,
yeah,
and I'm okay with that. I didn't mind this episode. I feel like all these shows end with big fight scene at the end, and I'm okay with that. I've grown to get used to it. But like I said, I do think like it would have been nice.
Loki didn't end that way.
Yeah, Loki was just a big exposition dump.
It was awesome. It was so good.
Yeah.
Then he comes back and then yeah. Whew. I like that. I like that ending. But it didn't say Hawkeye will be back at the end of this.
Well, I think the implication is she's Hawkeye now. Should be something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we won't see Jeremy Renner ever again.
I wouldn't mind. I think it would be really cool to have a new, because she would be the first new Avenger. I feel like, she would be the first new Avenger that we've had since Avengers, where she just takes over for somebody. Like,
I mean, we got Sam, dude.
We got Sam, but he was already Falcon.
He's already an Avenger.
He was already an Avenger. He's just getting another title, which kind of feels weird, but it makes sense. where she's just like a new person who is taking over for somebody. That's kind of cool. I like that. Um, but it's kind of like in Wolverine, Logan, Old Man Logan, where they're like Wolverine dies. Spoilers. And you see X-23 with everybody else like running to Canada, and it's like, oh shit, X-23 is the new Wolverine.
Yeah, they never capitalized on that.
And they never
Maybe
capitalized
they did.
on it.
I never watched New Mutants. Maybe that's what New Mutants was. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, it was just like, oh, that's cool. They're passing the mantle because, actors get old and they need to do that. And we never capitalized on it. It's kind of this with Hawkeye, and I think that's kind of an interesting
Yelena
progression
as well.
Yeah, but I don't know if she'd take over. Like, this is the obvious, like, yeah, this is Hawkeye now.
Yeah,
Whereas Yelena's like,
Yelena just hasn't
be the new Black Widow.
She hasn't gotten to the point where she's like fighting with the team yet. She will. Yeah, she will.
She hasn't gotten a title yet. So
yeah, because she's still kind of like morally ambiguous at this point. A little like on the fringes, mercenary type.
I really hope they do something with her though, because she's very funny. She's
very funny. I like her a lot.
She's a good character for this.
I would like a season 2 of this show, if I'm being honest with you, with the two of them, where it's just Yelena and Kate yucking it up for 6 episodes. I would like that a lot.
That would be really cool. Did you stick around to the post credit scene and get the whole Rogers?
Hilarious.
Yeah. I'm like, this is just going to be the whole musical, isn't it? And it was. Yeah. It was fantastic.
We got Roger from Rent doing the vocals. Very cool. Love that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That's the guy. He's old as fuck now. It's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, I liked it. I see a lot of people complaining about it online. I thought it was fine. I was like, that's funny. Whatever.
Yeah, it's
not
funny.
A big deal. What do you guys expect? Fucking Spider-Man? They can't give you that shit every single time, dude. Like, I thought it was funny because it was just like, we hired these people to make like a cheesy thing, and then they just took it way too seriously and made this like big production. Because the director guy is the guy who made the Book of Mormon with Matt and Trey Parker as well.
Okay, yeah, so, he looked familiar. I'm like, I know that guy is somebody, and that's why they keep showing him. But
he's a big theater guy. Yeah. The theory is you just went to Disneyland. Over in California Adventure, they have the theater there next to the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The theory that everyone has is that they're going to have Rogers the musical play in there, which would be fucking hilarious because it's like attached to Avengers Campus.
That would be really fucking good.
The only thing I would have really liked it if it panned into the audience at the end of it and it was Bucky and Sam sitting there watching it just like, I thought that would have been really funny. But it did feel more like this is a behind the scenes sort of like extra thing.
Yeah. We heard you that you liked this. You thought it was funny, so we just decided to give you the whole song.
I don't even feel like it was that. I think it was just them. They're like, we love this shit. We don't care if you like it. Please, you're listening to this. We had a fun time making it. That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
Where they're like, this turned into a bigger thing than we anticipated. I'm excited for the behind the scenes.
That's episode. Right. Yeah. We're getting that too. Yeah. That'll be fun. You wanna rank this?
Yeah, let's rank.
That way we can like talk about why we're ranking it where we're ranking it. And I went first last time with oh no, actually you went first. So I guess I have to go first on this one because you did Spider-Man and you said right here. And I said, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you want to read them off?
Yeah, we got number 1, Loki. Number 2, Iron Man. Number 3, Shang-Chi. This is a list, by the way. I should point out. This is our list, the Loner Cast list of everything that we've seen so far up unto
Civil War.
And some
other things.
It also includes the newer ones that came out this year.
It's a little wonky. Shang-Chi. We're catching up.
Yeah, it'll eventually we'll hit the end, and then we'll just put the ones that are releasing up.
We're very close. Like
we're getting there. We have one more phase before we're done. So
pretty much.
And it's the most fun phase, I think.
Well,
so
we've
far.
already knocked a couple of the movies off of that phase. So two
What do you mean?
Spider-Man,
Oh, yeah.
and Civil
Yeah.
War. So
Yeah. So this includes Spider-Man as well. So number 1, Loki. Number 2, Iron Man. Loki's there because it's fantastic.
because reasons.
And I don't have to explain myself. Fuck you. Number 1,
Yeah.
Loki. Number 2, Iron Man. Number 3, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. 4, Spider-Man No Way Home. 5, Guardians of the Galaxy. 6, WandaVision. 7, Eternals. 8, Captain America Civil War. 9, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. 10, Spider-Man Far From Home. 11, Spider-Man Homecoming. 12, Captain America the First Avenger. 13, Ant-Man. 14, Avengers. 15, Black Widow. 16, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 17, Iron Man 3. 18, Avengers Age of Ultron. 19, Iron Man 2. 20, Incredible Hulk. 21, Thor, The Dark World. And 22, Thor. I guess I have to do this one considering you said what you thought in Spider-Man.
We might feel differently about this one.
I have a feeling we are very different on this one. And this is going to be the big turnaround.
I think it's number 1, baby. No,
you do not.
do not.
I'm
just kidding.
We were about to throw some
I don't think
blows. Man. I'm gonna put it at number 17.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it at number 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a good place for it. I think that's where I would put it.
Dude, you're gonna because I was gonna say 12.
Ooh.
Because I really like this show. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was well executed. I certainly think it's better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I don't know, man. If I had to watch it again, I think I'd rather rewatch Falcon and Winter Soldier because I liked the characters and the setting a lot more than this show.
Nah, dude, I love the characters in this show. I love Kate and Hawkeye. I love the LARPers. I love the the moving it bros and the reveal of Kingpin and and then just like the city of New York. There's some amazing fight scenes. There's some good fight scenes in Falcon and Winter Soldier too. But
I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier because it did something a little different. It went really dark towards the end of it, and I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. Granted, it was like the first film or the first series that they filmed while under COVID, so it had a whole bunch of restrictions, and it also had like a secondary storyline that was supposed to be like a virus, so they cut out a bunch of it. But you take all that in,
I just also thought like the story in Falcon and Winter Soldier was pretty wonky in comparison.
That has to do with the whole virus thing, and they had to cut.
Great, but that's still the case.
I get it. No, but like, I personally liked Zemo. I like the relationship between Sam and Bucky. You said 12. You think it's better than Captain America: The First Avenger?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
For real.
I'd rather watch this than that, Ant-Man, The Avengers, and I'd probably put Black Widow higher on my personal list, but
oh man, what are we gonna do? This is the first time that we have had such a split decision.
I mean, I'd be happy like just to put it above Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, what do we got? 1, 2. We
could put it above Black Widow.
Here. We could put it here. That's 3 below yours and 3 above mine.
Okay.
We could put it here, split the difference.
All right.
Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Or you think one more down?
Yeah, let's go one more down.
One more down? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And in the future, don't fucking game the system, okay? Because if you're like, I know Jake's gonna put this shit low, I'm gonna put it higher than I actually think. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it, huh?
What do you mean?
Because like,
what do you mean?
Like, let's say I put it, whatever the show is we're watching, and I'm like, I think it's 16,
Okay.
You personally think it's like 12, so you're like, I think it's number 7.
I see.
You know what I mean?
No, like for real. I get it. Like I
Oh.
have a feeling that we're gonna come up with that on like Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
or
Ragnarok's gonna be a rough one.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
2. And you're gonna be like, it's number 1, baby, and I'm gonna be like, it's number 24, and we're gonna be like, let's split the difference, bro. Let's put it right where I want it. Yeah,
I already think I'm gonna put both of those movies at number 1, but well
oh
we'll
my
see
God.
when we get there.
So like that's generally where I felt it deserved, because man, I just felt like this movie just the 6-episode thing really did a disservice to it.
Yeah,
And I just feel like we didn't get enough time with any of these characters.
yo, I really like the swordsman in the last episode. That was
I did too. I did
like
too.
it.
And I wish he was brought up more, or like what happens after this, or
Yeah.
like does he join like the LARPers? Like that would be so cool.
Okay, I did hate that in this episode when the LARPers came out in their outfits. I was like, this is too cheesy. That's so stupid.
So stupid.
Yeah, I did
like
not
the
like
whole the whole last episode was just cheese.
Specifically that part. I didn't mind any
That
of
part.
I wish
yeah.
I wish we got more like about the fucking dog. Like, what's up with that dog though?
Doesn't fucking matter. His
It's
name's
just a-
Lucky, and
It's
he
just
likes
a dog,
pizza.
I guess.
Yeah.
They could have done that better, where it's just like, oh, she found a dog and wants to take care of it. To me, it felt like the dog was important or something, but it wasn't.
Also, like, why would the LARPers agree to like take? Why would they agree to work as servers at this place? And how did that happen at this like Christmas party?
well, they were working with Hawkeye.
Right.
Yeah.
But why?
Why
did
were they
agree
working
to it?
with him?
They just wanted to. They just wanted to work with him.
Yeah. Well, and they're all like firefighters and cops and stuff, you know?
So they're like, yeah, we'll serve these people at this Christmas party.
Well, they knew what was happening. They knew that there was some shit that was about to go down. They were all
I
wearing
guess.
earpieces and stuff. Like, they all knew.
Yeah, I guess it just felt so. It felt so easy. It was just like, yeah, this is because we said so. There was no like conversation. Like, it would be cool if it was like kind of like a heist thing, and we got like a heist scene. Like, okay, we're gonna need you guys to do this sort of thing. Not like that. I mean, like just the setup. Like, we're gonna
like
need
an
you guys to do
like
this.
an Ocean's 11 thing.
Yeah, and then we didn't get any of that, and they were just there. And it was
No, I agree. Like, I
Okay.
wish, like, since this was a show, I wish it was fucking 12 episodes so we could get
Yeah.
more stuff. That was my biggest issue with this show, is that it wasn't long enough to let anything breathe.
Yeah.
But I felt the same about Falcon and Winter Soldier, if I'm being honest. Like, I felt like they were kind of rushing through things. Like,
Yeah. I just liked it. I just liked the setting more. I liked the setting and
there's
Zemo
a lot
mainly,
of different settings in Black Widow, or in Black Widow,
and Falcon. Yeah. That's what I liked about it. And you know me though, like going into Star Wars, even like I did not like Episode 8 because it took place nowhere. You had 2 planets and that was it. And it was like they could have done so much more. I liked.
There were 3 planets. Okay.
Were there?
Yeah, because there was the one where Luke was. There was
okay.
Canto Bight, and then there was Crate.
Great. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But
well, and then the
I-
spaceships. Those are settings, I guess.
Yeah, but I just thought those were boring. But like
They were.
I liked episode 9, specifically the scene where they're flash jumping through all the different planets. They're light speed jumping. At the very beginning, they pick up the thing from Mark Hamill's alien character, and then they're just light speed jumping.
Don't get me started, dude.
Ah.
It breaks light speed. It breaks it.
Everything about
It breaks
that
it.
trilogy breaks light speed.
It does. It all does. It's all bad.
It's all Star Wars. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we'll get into that
Oh, one more thing.
on the next season of Spoilercast. What's
The
that?
Watch. I was right. It was the wife's, and she was a shield.
Yeah,
agent.
she was a shield agent.
I
Yeah,
fucking
but it was,
called that
it was
shit.
pretty easy to call.
Yeah,
You're not
called
you're
that
not
shit.
special.
I am special. Okay. Apparently, that is a character called. She's a character called Mockingbird. which is like a super shield agent character from the comics. So there you go.
Right. Well, never heard of it.
Apparently Mockingbird was already a character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and this is them confirming Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. not canon. Doesn't
Not
matter.
canon. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
interesting.
not canon.
I believe it.
Oh, one more thing, because this has been highly debated, Nick.
Here we go. All right.
Before we wrap this shit up.
Dragging it out. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're dragging it out. Do you think this is the same Kingpin?
Yes. I do. Because we also got the same Daredevil.
Is it, though?
It has to be. Which means
super juiced.
The Kingpin?
Yeah.
Or Daredevil?
Kingpin. I guess we don't know about Daredevil yet. He caught
All right,
a brick.
yeah. He's super juiced. Whatever. Yeah,
I mean, to
who
catch a
cares?
brick, that's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. That's gotta
And
hurt.
you're blind? Yeah.
Well,
Um,
we know he could do that. If it was a baseball, that would have made more sense. But a brick, god damn, that hurt your hand, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think.
I think it is, which implies all of the other characters.
Yeah.
Well, it might not be the same storyline. They might have just taken what they wanted. Because
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I bet you we'll get an Iron Fist somewhere in the future.
Yeah.
And we'll get
different
like a
actor.
Jessica Jones, and yeah, it'll be
I
different.
could see them bringing back Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. I cannot see them bringing back the guy who played Iron Fist. I can't see it. People didn't like that show, you know?
It was, I mean, that show was just kind of boring, but so was
I liked it.
Defenders. You know,
Defenders was horrible. I liked the first season of Iron Fist. Second season, not my jam. Jessica Jones, loved the first season. Second season, Luke Cage, loved the first season. Second season,
I liked the
it.
first half of the first season of Luke Cage.
Well, and that's the other weird thing, though, Nick, is in the Netflix thing, specifically Luke Cage, Cottonmouth, the bad guy, was played by Mahershala Ali.
Who is?
Mahershala Ali is now playing Blade. And we got Blade in the end credits of fucking Eternals.
Right.
So how does that work? So I think he is the same character when they want him to be, but he's a different character when they don't want him to be, and it doesn't matter. It's comic book.
For now, he's the same character until they decide to add any of the other Defenders.
So apparently, in an interview, Vincent D'Onofrio said, like, I'm obviously, we're playing the character differently. I'm more physical. The show is less graphic, but then he's like, but I'm playing it as if it's the same character, like the same emotional beats and stuff.
Well, of course, because it worked so well the first time. Why change it?
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll probably reference whatever his girlfriend's name was in that show. I can't remember, Victoria or Valencia or whatever.
But what if? Because in all of the Defenders shows, they always referenced the incident.
The incident, yeah.
And that was supposed to be the MCU Avengers fight.
Yeah, and they referenced the Hulk at one point, yeah.
So it's very possible that they just pull everything over and write it better.
Yeah, or because like my thought process is, it's a those shows are from a different reality, but it's just like very similar to the MCU. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like a lot of the same connective tissue, but some things are different. But technically, it's a different universe. But ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. It's best not to think about it.
Right? Yeah, for sure. I think that's what it is.
That's kind of how comics are in general, though. It's just like, just don't think about it.
It's just a story that somebody wants to write with the IPs that are already there.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all comic books are, and I think DC's doing it right now. that they have like Joker, but it's not related to anything else. It's just a story we wanted to tell
Yeah.
using the Joker.
Batman, yeah,
Yep.
not
So
connected to anything.
yep.
But did you hear Michael Keaton? You know, he was confirmed for Flash a while ago, but he just got confirmed that he's going to be in that Batgirl movie.
I didn't realize there was a Batgirl movie.
Yeah, it's like an HBO movie. And
Huh.
also J.K. Simmons was confirmed for that as well.
Ooh.
Because if you remember in Justice League, he played Commissioner Gordon.
I
Or
don't
no.
remember.
Yeah, he did play Commissioner Gordon. Yeah.
Was it J.K. Simmons? Oh, you're right. It was.
Yeah, it was
It
J.K.
was. I
Simmons.
remember the scene where he's like standing at the light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. But God, those movies are so bad. They're so bad. I hate those movies.
Yeah.
Um,
But I feel like that Flash movie is gonna do kind of what like No Way Home did, and it's gonna be like, hey, we're fucking with timelines, and
let's hope they do it right, though. You know, let's hope they do it right, because you can
Yeah.
fuck that up so bad, and it's just like, well, what does this fucking matter? Nothing matters. And
yeah, I've always felt like DC is pretty hit or miss, but when they hit really hard. You know, like they hit it out of the park when they hit. You know, but
yeah,
it's
Joker was good. Suicide
was
Squad was
really
good.
Yeah, Suicide
Dark
Squad,
Knight was good.
Dark Knight
So-
Rises, Batman Begins.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the director and what the studio allows. So anyway, that's our spoiler cast that got extended into fucking DC comics. So fuck, sorry about that, but sorry,
Whatever.
but dude.
We like the talk over here. That's our
Yeah, I should have just like said, hey, from now on we're talking about anything other than. So if you want to tune out,
Yeah.
but you know, it'll only get better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check out our Loner Cast shows. Check out our other spoiler casts. We do plenty of them, and there's plenty of content. This week we're probably not working on
anything.
because
Yeah.
Christmas is right around the corner. Hence the hat that I had on earlier. So I did have an idea that I want to talk to you about
Okay.
off camera. So
Okay.
I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good whatever day, wherever you're at. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and whatever the fuck you celebrate. Get out of here. Peace out. Love you.